Hey, everybody. Welcome to Metal Movies and Brucey's Live. I'm your host, Matt Burke, and tonight we're going to be talking about a lot of cool things metal. Going to have a couple cool topics, that you guys haven't seen yet. Hopefully you have. What up, Edwin? How's it going? Hey, everybody, go out and check out Edwin's book, The Ace Volume 3. It's actually funding right now, so if you guys can, go check that out. Edwin, if you're still here, if you want to drop a link in the chat, that'd be awesome. People could come and check it out. Let's see here. On the first topic of tonight, and that being metal, I want you guys to check this out. I think it's pretty funny. Stephen King, no matter what you think of him, he's put out some really cool work, and I know he's kind of a wokey on Twitter and whatnot, but and a weirdo, but he's got some pretty cool work, and the band Anthrax has actually like referenced his work in a lot of their albums, and it's funny. I guess Stephen King's actually going to put some of their stuff in his modern one of his new books. So I don't know. I guess we could kind of talk about that a little bit. Anthrax's Madhouse got mentioned in legendary master of horror Stephen King's latest collection, You Like It Darker. And according to Anthrax's guitarist Scott Ian, and Scott Ian is no stranger to like comics. He actually wrote I think a Highway to Hell Lobo story that was also illustrated by Sam Keith. I believe I have it somewhere, and that was a pretty fun read. And the song from the band's second album, 1985, Spirit or Spreading the Disease, was brought up in a rather brutal tale called Finn that King wrote, which is the fifth of a dozen short works found within You Like It Darker. The story was first published in Scribd on May 25th, 2022, and an ebook exclusive. Also, Ian took to Instagram to write Stephen King name checks us again in his new collection of stories, Like You Darker. So, I don't know. That's pretty weird. I was reading it on the flight home from Europe yesterday, and the fifth story in the book, a rather brutal tale called Finn, Steve uses our song Madhouse as a torture device. I apologize if the sound of my head exploding when I saw it. Anthrax mentioned woke anyone up on the plane. Anthrax, I don't know. I never really got into Anthrax too much. I know that they were doing, they were the first bands to kind of do fucking nu metal. I mean, they did that song with, what was it, Public Enemy or some shit? It was like Bring On Noise or something about the bees or some shit like that. A little bit before my time. But they've had a bunch of different singers and whatnot, and different lineups throughout the history of the band. And Anthrax's third studio album, Among the Living, was so heavily inspired by Stephen King's The Stand that Ian was asked to write a foreword for one of edition of the books. Oh shit! The album track "A Skeleton in the Closet" is also inspired by a novella, Apt Pupil, which was part of the 3 different seasons collections. So King previously referenced Anthrax in the Dark Tower's third book, The Wastelands. So, and also Anthrax's cover of Trust's Antisocial was featured in the fight scene in 2017's It adaptation. Yeah, I like that the new It movies. I don't think they really hold a candle to the original TV movie with Tim Curry. I think that movie, I don't know, that movie was pretty good for its time. I also think it was the best movie that's actually made for television at the time. And it was like this time in the 90s where the Stephen King movies, they had adaptations of them made for television. The Langoliers, the Tommyknockers, The Stand, Desperation with Ron Perlman, There was another one too, I think. Oh, the grand one. It's tied. Actually, it might be a little better. And that is Salem's Lot. That was the first, I think, made for TV movie that Stephen King had made. And I don't know, man. I mean, again, like him or not, but Stephen King does have a lot of like really, really cool books. I think he did get a little crazy, and he later on in his twilight years, and probably did a lot of drinking and drugs and whatnot. But he does have some good books. But yeah, I figured we'd talk about that a little bit. But also we have here something I think that I don't know if you guys have played this, but it's definitely a game. It's a game that I played back in the day, and I never got to beat. It's one of those games that I want to go back and have a second crack at, and that's the game of Brutal Legend. And I also got another brutal legend for you right now, and it's called Brian Christgau.
What's up?
What's up, brother man? You like my mug? Look what I got for Father's Day.
Aw. Dad. 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 How was your 4th of July, bro?
It was good, man. I mean, we just chilled and barbecued a little bit, and yeah, nothing crazy. It seems like a lot like, I don't know, you can just go outside and there's just fireworks going off, and yeah, it was it's pretty crazy. And then I met up with an old friend today, and I was talking with him for like all day. I just got back right now, so
oh, nice.
An old homie from back in the day, and just talking about 10 years is like forever. I don't know. A lot of things change, people change, things stay the same, and I don't know. What about you, man? How's everything been with you?
Oh, it's completely uneventful. Like nothing happened in like the last like 48 plus hours. Absolutely nothing. No fireworks. No, actually, I'm doing good, but I got into a little bit of a beef because it's like some gay stuff. I was like at this party, and now look, I love my gay homies. Don't I was pro gay rights, like when it was not cool, right? When it got you called a certain word that begins with the letter F, I just always thought it was like a stupid prejudice. Man, it just makes no sense to me. But evidently, I was at a party, and there was this gay dude there, and he got upset because I wouldn't sing "Happy Birthday" to his boyfriend.
Well, how old was he? Like 15 or something?
No. These are grown men.
Oh,
grown men. Believe it or not, I know this sounds crazy, right? This sounds really
like
crazy.
Some high school homosexual stuff.
Well, I mean, look. I told my gay homies about this, and they were like, "Man, that's some gay shit."
Yeah,
God,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
But yeah, and it wasn't his boyfriend's party. It he just wanted me to sing "Happy Birthday" to his boyfriend. Now I don't know who's topping, who's bottoming. I suspect there's a little switch hitting going on there, but it caused a little dust up, a little kerfuffle, but I'm no worse for the wear because
little ruckus.
Yeah, no, these like little fucking like chihuahuas nipping at my fucking heels, so yeah, whatever.
Yeah, no, you just gotta fucking JC that shit, dog. You know what I mean? A lot of them are bored.
That's what I'm doing.
They got nothing better to do, but.
But I had a good day today. Went to the movies.
What did you see?
So Maxine, the
So what's the deal with that? Of what? Like I hear it's a trailer. I'm sorry, a trilogy. What?
Yes.
What is it?
Ty West he's a horror director, right? His first movie was House of the Devil, which wasn't great, but it was pretty good. And
I always wanted to watch that. Tom Noonan, right? Tom Noonan was in there.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, from Manhunter. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Who some of us might remember as Dollarhide in Manhunter, the first screen adaptation of Thomas Harris's Red Dragon.
Or the Axe Hunter from Last Action Hero, or Frankenstein's monster from Monster Squad, right?
Yes. So and I'm still mad at myself for not buying the Last Action Hero action figure of Tom Noonan just to have a Tom Noonan action figure, right? It's kind of like, the James Spader action figure from Stargate with like the shoulder-mounted rocket launcher. Like, is this something wacky about having action figures of like certain actors, right?
Yeah,
they're just very not action figure oriented. But yeah, no, he made House of the Devil. I'm trying to remember some of his other pictures. Nothing like really remarkable, nothing really stand out. And then he made this movie called X.
Okay.
And and that was really good. And you can tell, okay, this guy's coming into his own for sure now, right? Yeah. And then the lockdown happened while they were making that movie. And so he decided, like, oh shit, it's like we're pretty much like stuck here. And he thought, and he did what he did was, as like a true indie, he went Roger Corman and was like, hey, how about like we just throw together and shoot really quick a prequel, right?
Oh shit, that's
because Mia Goth plays two characters in X.
Okay,
right?
And she's blowing up. She's blowing up, right? in the
She's the
indie
dark
horror
lady
scene?
of the. She's the dark lady of the cinema right now. And it's
Mm,
funny because I watched an interview with her, and
yes.
she's like this very kind of like wholesome, uh, uh, uh like like British mum, right? Like just like very domestic, right? Like she's a
Yeah.
she's like a family gal, and like a housefrau. And she makes and then she gets in front of the camera and she gives like these incredible performances as these really dark, twisted characters. She was also in Infinity Pool by
I heard of
Brandon
that one.
Cronenberg.
Yeah, I heard
Awesome.
of that. I was gonna check that out, and it has
Awesome.
fucking Skarsgård in there, right?
Yes.
Cronenberg.
Which Warren's way up for that. That's a
And
good movie.
I mean, there's just certain names, right? Like there's certain names now. Like I never really followed like artists. You know what I mean? Writers.
My whole life.
I consider writers artists.
Oh
So
yeah, for sure.
and musicians, I consider them artists, or you could say fucking artisans if you want to get rustically bullshit.
No, they're all artists. It's just different mediums.
Yeah, right. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I think I like follow the Skarsgårds. You know, I think they do pretty dope shit. You know, the whole family.
They've been in a lot of good shit. They've been in a lot of good shit, and
some whack shit. But I just check them out.
It's gonna happen.
And it's gonna happen to everybody.
That's your job.
Well, no, you're an artist, and an artist puts out whack shit sometimes, and that's it's to each their own.
The directors is what I'm saying. They're just the.
Well, they're not the directors, but sometimes they put. No, I just think artists in general put out whack shit. They're just horrible.
No. Everybody whiffs. Everybody whiffs at one point or another, right? It's very
or a couple
rare.
of times. That's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
But you just gotta keep swinging, bro. You just gotta keep
Yep.
Yeah, you just gotta get in there and just keep knocking shit out. And
so
it might hit, might not.
So this new one, Maxine, they had been trying to get it funded, and they did through who else? A24, right?
Yeah.
Who are just fucking dominating right now,
right?
When it comes to the horror genre. Just dope movie after dope movie after dope movie.
Right.
And just in independent cinema in general, they're just fucking killing it, right? And it's the third installment in that series. I don't know if there's going to be any more, but I went to see it because it's been so fucking hot here in New York. I can't.
It's hot here tonight. Oh,
dude, I was like trying to fucking just got this in the mail.
Let me see. Oh, dude, I just got mine today too. I was just talking about my homie today, dude. You know what I mean? And I was telling him that we were talking to Cole. I talked to him for fucking like 6 hours. We talked for 6 hours straight. We went and got a coffee, and then we just talked. We haven't seen each other in like 10 or 12 years.
Yeah. So you did some catching up. That's great.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I got homies like that too, where it's just like we pick up right from where we left off.
It was weird, man. And we were in a band together, you know. And he's like, "Hey, I got this drum set. I don't want it anymore." Yeah. And I mean, I want it, but I don't have room. I got to move. I'm like, "We can bring it. I got it." You know, I still got my fucking mic. I got my 2 amps. I got my PA. I got my mic stand. I got my Stratocasters. I got my Ibanez. I got my guitars. We could come bring it, and I'll take it. I'll keep it, or you can store it there, wherever the fuck you want, you know?
Yeah.
And, man, I really love this guy, man. And, I hadn't seen him in a long time, you know, and it was weird, you know, like just seeing him, and
that's great.
Fuck. I just felt bad that it has been so long, you know?
I know what you mean. But here's
the years I let the years rob our relationship, and
I know exactly what you mean.
It was just
I do that too,
but it was a beautiful time seeing my friend that I love, you know.
That's great. But that's the thing. It's like there are people I haven't talked to, people I haven't seen in 10, 15, 20 years. Shit.
Yeah.
40 years. They're still my friends, right? Yeah. And then got people who are like, "Oh, you know, I feel terrible. I haven't been in touch." I'm just like, I don't want anybody to ever think about me and feel bad.
Right? Well, right? You don't, but I mean, you do. You know what I mean?
I got their back.
And like, there ain't nothing wrong with meeting up with an old friend and, you know, and getting a Starbucks or a fucking Dunkin' Donuts or hopefully a local coffee shop that's still a mom and popper. That's what I look for. I mean, I got some around here, but I mean, you want to go meet at this coffee shop that just opened? They don't know where the fuck it's at. You want to go meet at fucking Starbucks? They're gonna know it's at on this street, you know, by Jack in the Box or 7-Eleven, right? But there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, sometimes it's kind of cool to meet up and chat it up, see where they're at, and kind of reach out. And what is it? Touch concrete, you know, or touch grass or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, well, to touch base to catch up.
Yeah,
that's a good and beautiful thing, and rock and roll, man. That's wonderful. As for me, I've just been hanging out with. I figured I'd treat myself to a real nice bottle of tequila.
I would say that looks like some fucking chamacos, some fucking tequila.
Montelobos, mezcal,
dude, like,
artisanal, mofo.
So I haven't yet taken Mexico off the table as far as like moving to and retiring there.
Oh my god, dude!
I went to I mean, we spoke of this before. I went to Guadalajara. That place is like is Mexican, Gotham City and Mega City 1 put together, and they have this massive fucking art district with all this art supplies, these art stores. Like, there's so many art supply stores. They're fucking huge. And dude, oh my god, the food. You know what I mean? Tacos are my favorite food. You can't fuck up a taco. And I don't know, man. And I just there, or just maybe like a town that's over there, you know. And you got all these Americans and Canadians that are retired, living off their pension out there with $2,000 transforms into $3,000. You know what I mean? And
hey, dude, I'm thinking about it.
You got my fucking ass just sitting in a corner. I'm over there. All I need is a desk in a corner. You know, drawing. You know, I eventually want to learn how to paint someday. I'm terrified of painting, but I want to do that.
You got to do it.
But I mean,
you got to do it. Yeah, we all got to do the shit we're scared of.
I want. I mean, but I want to tell stories. Like, and right now, like, I'm in the middle of a couple stories, but then I want to tell like juicy, like a decent sized amount of page stories that are entertaining. You know what I mean? Like, and I want to up my art, but at the end of the day, like, I want the story to be a fun, immersive, fucking kick-ass story. You know what I mean?
Always.
And I want to bang out like a bunch of those in the next 10 years. You know, like good 40 to 50 something page stories. You know, after the books, like the book I'm working on now. You know, and eventually, you know, maybe I'll do that in like 20 years. You know, but you got to look ahead. You got to have a plan. You know what I mean?
Marathon,
and a lot of people are just fucking lost. They're just like, oh, what the fuck is going on? And me, I have a fucking vision. I know what I want to do as far as that goes.
You have to,
but it's not that big.
You have to. You absolutely have to. It's like I saw an interview with Schwarzenegger, and he was talking about how he looked at Reg Park, and he's like, "I'm going to be like him. I'm going to be buff, have an 8-pack, and I'm going to be in the movies and all that shit." And he talked about how important it is to have that vision.
Right? and he visualized it. And I read his biography. Him and Todd McFarlane were the two guys that I kind of like, really like. I was into in high school, you know. So I wanted to draw. I've been drawing since I was 4, and I liked Conan. Like, my dad got me into Conan at a young age, you know, and I was just into that. You know what I mean? And I didn't know about Howard or none of that. And you know, and now I'm like getting into Howard. I'm turning into a Howard mark. You know, I'm like, fuck. I'll read anything I can get my hands on. I just read the second story in Solomon Kane. I've had the book for like maybe 2 years, but I haven't been able to read it. I've just been so busy.
Sure.
And fuck, dude. It's like
fucking awesome, right?
Skull. I think it's like Red Sky or something like that. Red Sky. It's a it's the third story. Sorry, Red Sails. The one where he's like, men will die for
I'm gonna get those motherfuckers.
Men will die for this. And I was telling my buddy about that today, and he was like, whoa. I told him the whole story. We were talking about the whole thing, and I was just like, oh my god, you know. And I was talking about the story, like where he chases a guy to the end of the earth, and it's been like fucking years, and he's like, I see wrinkles in his face, but I got the motherfucker. You know, this guy, you know, like burned this village down. He raped this fucking teenage girl, and he's gonna fucking kill him.
Shanked her, left her for dead.
Oh, dude.
And he looks off in the distance, and he sees the fucking culprits escaping, and he's like, right, I'm gonna get those motherfuckers. And
he gets them in France, right? But then he escapes, and then he goes to like fucking Spain, and then he goes to fucking Africa. And then it turns into a horror.
The ends of the world. Who was this girl to you? Was she your young wife? Was she like your niece? He's like, never met her.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
And no idea. Like,
no idea. I just saw that what you did to this to this poor girl, and I was like, I'm gonna get that motherfucker.
I'm gonna make a difference.
Fucking kills me.
Yeah, and I don't see nothing wrong with that. Like, and I don't see, like, if someone were to do that in real life, I see nothing wrong with that.
No,
like,
not at all.
That's something I would do. Like, sadistically would do that. You know, if someone did that to somebody, I could see myself doing that. You know, I could relate to that. Like, it's admirable. You know.
Well, I mean, that's
love the story, dude. And with the gorilla and the gorilla slayer, and the fucking reanimated the shaman jumping into the reanimated corpse
Nalonga.
and choke Nlanga, or how do you say it?
Nalonga. He's the one that gives
strangles that fucking
famous fetish stick. That
right.
stick that he walks around
the
with.
famous one, right?
Yeah, he gets that from Nalonga. And there's that wonderful story where he Nalonga possesses the body of this young man.
That's this one. Does he do it twice?
I think so. And then at the end, he's like, because Kane's is like, oh, this is like witchcraft and, you know, blasphemy and shit. And Nalonga's like, you know, look at me. I'm in this like young man's body. How fucking cool is this, right? But if I were evil, I would stay in this body. But no, I'll go back to my old dying, decrepit body.
Because I heard he's in a couple stories.
And he basically teaches Kane that it's just like the magic isn't good or evil. It's just a fucking tool.
Right. It's just another, part of the utility.
Used for good or evil. Nalonga, that's his boy, man. That's his boy.
He's in a couple stories. I heard he's in a couple stories, right?
Yes, he is his spiritual guide. Right, and that's the genius of Howard is that he takes a Puritan and he drops him in Africa.
I think
about
like
a fish out of water, right?
Yeah,
that's
no, like I think like
with the Solomon Kane movie was that it wasn't set in Africa, and I'm just like, because I know the two stories that they should combine, and make a Solomon Kane movie and maybe that was the intention, I think, for what was supposed to be the second movie, but then the first movie never got released. Really,
like me, like just reading it, and like, because it's 3 stories in, I've seen the movie, a bunch of times, and I'm just like,
yeah,
like
it's
the whole
not
like
Howard. I love it, but it's not Howard.
But I'm thinking like, damn, like the whole like African thing, dude. Like it kind of has a cool. Night. Well, I mean, I haven't got there yet. I can't wait. And I know of it.
And the comic adaptations, dude. The first time I came across that story, it was in the back pages of Savage Sword of Conan.
Yeah, dude.
That was actually how I first discovered the existence of Solomon Kane. And I read that story and I was like, this dude's the shit.
Yeah, he's the shit,
like,
bro.
Conan who?
No, I mean I like Conan. I like him equally, but Conan I like the horror too that Solomon Kane brings. And then he's more like I don't know, like you can relate with him more just because he's only like 300 years away. Conan is a couple thousand years from us, And I relate to like the primordial berserker rage and the noble savagery of Conan, and whatnot. But I can also relate to Kane too, and especially in the world that we live in with all the evil, the pure evil. I told you the other day, a lot of things come down to fucking good and evil, and there's a lot of good and evil motherfuckers out there, all around us.
Evil's real, dude. Evil is real.
All around us.
People don't believe that, man.
A lot of fake motherfuckers
don't believe that.
So, and I could sniff out I'm usually good at sniffing out an evil motherfucker, you know what I mean? And people, and I could see it now. I wasn't as good at it like a few years ago, but as you get older, you get kind of good at it, and you can see people, you get people fucking, you can spot the veil that they're bringing in to fucking throw over you, and it's like, okay, I kind of figured this out. There's tells and whatnot, but Kane though, man, I really would love to see a movie with him in Africa. I think that's where it's at.
Right?
I think the African stuff, like the fish out of water, and it's kind of like this. It's just kind of different. It's exotic and it's cool. And I just feel that this Africa like has this really dark, deep, like
the dark
tribal spirit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and,
but there's also
with the drums beating, and they're talking about like in that story, like these old dark like entity gods that are breeding these gods, like you know what I mean, like the drums are being
and the lost civilizations and shit. See, that's the thing a lot of people forget. It's one of the things that I love about Michael Crichton was the fact that he did Eaters of the Dead, straight up Robert E. Howard pulp show. He dedicates it to Robert E. Howard and H.P. Lovecraft, right? And Congo also.
Oh, I love Congo.
Is total pulp shit. Because remember, it was called the Dark Continent because nobody knew what was there. It had been mostly unexplored. So you had unexplored regions of the earth. What could be there? Anything. It's kind of like, people who are a little simple-minded, a little basic. They think that the earth is filled with magma, while more enlightened souls, we know what's at the center of the earth. Dinosaurs.
Placidodor.
Yeah. And telepathic pterodactyl man.
Right.
Dude. Yeah, called the Sagoths. Oh, dude, you You're gonna have so much fucking fun with that stuff. Also, then once you get to like the Edgar Rice Burroughs, some of his shit. Oh my god, he
Well, for
doesn't
me,
stick the
I'm a
landing
slow
as
reader,
well
man.
as Howard. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Oh no, I was just gonna say I'm a slow reader, man. So like for me to read even like a short story,
Audio
like,
books.
and there's just a lot of distractions and whatnot, and I like to
I
take
know
my
you're
time.
your family,
And
man.
sometimes I got to go back and reread pages, you know,
Mhm.
and just because I really want to get it, I'll go back and reread a whole chapter just because I felt like I didn't grasp it enough, and like
Sure.
I'm like, oh damn, okay, that's even better now. I went back and reread it because I have to comprehend it, you know. And then if there's a word I don't understand, I have my phone right there. I Google the word. I Google the definition. What the fuck is he talking about? This fucking Texan right here.
Well, also when you're talking about books that were written in the 30s,
yeah,
the language might be a little bit different, right?
well, I love it, dude. I love it. You know,
Lovecraft wrote in a style that was antiquated when he was writing it.
Wow.
Right? So he was like writing like a guy from like 100 years before.
Right. So for us, it's like 200 years now, you know?
Right. Whereas Edgar Rice Burroughs, Robert E. Howard, these guys are just fucking boom, 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 busted fucking stories, man.
Imagine like living back then and like to be honest with you, dude, like I imagine like going and working and like maybe working on a farm or coming back home and drinking a beer, some whiskey and pulling out a pulp, you know? Like, damn,
Yeah.
I would rather do that and pull out a pulp and read that than watch like TV.
Seriously, dude. Seriously.
I really go bust my fucking ass for like 20, or I mean not 20 hours, maybe like 15 hours or so, 12 or 15.
What I would suggest,
and
though,
read the pulp, you know?
What I would suggest is audiobooks. Audiobooks really get a bad rap, right?
Well, they're fast.
Some people, it's
they're
like
fast.
they're like too intellectual for it. It's like, so you're not reading a book, you're just listening to a book. It's just like, I could be in my car listening to fucking, well, he's gone now, but like some douchebag like Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah.
Or I could like have Ray Bradbury riding in the seat right next to me telling me a story.
100%.
It's a no-brainer. And there are good audiobook versions out there.
No, I'm down with audiobooks. I just figured like, and for me, they're just too entertaining. Like for me, like they're immersive, but I don't know. I figure I got to give them a chance. Like I think they're cool for maybe drawing to or driving to, but I feel that like I need to get in there and I need to read the words for certain books, you know. And I feel that like I feel that like they're so fast, which is cool. You know what I mean? I really want to get in there and I want to really like nurture the words and kind of like fucking
of course,
look at them, you know. And I figure if they're reading it to me, I'm gonna get it real quick. But I don't know, maybe. But I don't know though, dude. Maybe I do need to have the audiobooks.
Yeah, you do.
to get in the intel quick, you know.
You know who's a big fan of audiobooks is Stephen King. And he's a guy who's always walking around like with a paperback.
Dude, you just hear the topic I was talking about before you hopped on?
No, I'm sorry. I was actually
I was talking about Stephen King. I was talking about Stephen King and Anthrax. So Anthrax, like Stephen King is referencing some of their songs and the new short stories he's writing, you know, and I was talking about how King's fucking woke and he's fucking nuts and but he's put out like he's arguably like one of the best writers of all time, you know.
He is
and he's
an
close
icon.
to prolific
He's an icon
in writing or in literature history, you know. And
he's one of the most significant literary figures of the 20th century.
I just say of all time. Like you just look at his body of work, dude. He's so fucking dude. Look at all the books and stories he's done.
The early
throughout the 80s. Like it's fucking it's great. It's so massive, dude. Like you really go back there and look at all those 80s movies, you know. It's
I mean, crazy. He's not like, you know, just an important literary figure. He's an important media figure. You got all the fucking adaptations.
He's an iconoclast, bro. Like he really is.
For sure,
you know?
for
like
sure.
I don't really know who steps to him in horror, like in the past, you know, 80 years. I don't know. What is it? Not 80, but maybe like 50, 60, 70 years, something like that.
Well, for the 20th century, it's still Lovecraft.
Yeah. Okay. So after Lovecraft,
title holder for 20th century, it's still Lovecraft. Yeah.
Okay. So who fucks with Kane after Lovecraft? Nobody. Or King. Nobody really fucking steps to him, dude. Like with his prolific body of work, like no one can really step to him. Love him, hate him, fuck him.
In terms of its influence, right? Because like
pop culture and just all the media and
everywhere. But you also see Stephen King everywhere. The most notable place where you see Stephen King, where you recently saw Stephen King, was The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead is Robert Kirkman doing Stephen King doing George Romero's zombies. That's exactly what the fuck that is, right? So in terms of his reach and his influence, and just in terms of his spirit, and here's the thing: I know we got a lot of people are mad because of the TDS stuff. I just dismiss that because I also think I'm like, okay, he's got TDS, whatever. If I was, maybe he's just old, I would probably believe the same shit he believes if I fucking turned on the cable news and thought that they were telling the truth, right? Probably would. But nobody can take his achievements away from him. And also, purely anecdotal, I've never met the guy, but I've met people who have met him, and everybody, he's one of those guys. Like George Romero was one of those guys where everybody's like, dude, that dude's awesome. He's just a dude.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I mean, I heard like one of the very few interviews with Wrightson. I've been looking for Wrightson interviews, and just there's not that many online. So I've been looking for him, and one of them was about King, and he was just saying how King called him up when they were making Creep Show. He's like, hey, dude, me and Romero were doing this thing. We want you to work on it. I mean, how's your and how are you? Is your schedule open? Can you draw this Creep Show book for us? And Bernie was like, yeah, dude, I could. Fuck yeah, I could do it. Like, what's up? I just want you to
collaboration between the three of them. Right?
Yeah,
it was
marketed endorse my work, and that's all he asked for.
Right. It was marketed as a collaboration, George Romero plus Stephen King, but really, it was George Romero plus Stephen King plus Bernie Wrightson.
Yeah, totally. I mean, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. And, I told you that story that Denny O'Neil told us in that class that I took on comic book writing. Like, somebody brought up Stephen King, and he's like, oh, I got a quick Stephen King story, right? And that's the main reason I'm there, is just to fucking hear fucking stories, right? And he's like, Stephen King was supposed to write a short story for House of Mystery. And, you're talking about the old days of comic books deadlines, right? And Denny says that, like, he still hasn't heard from Stephen King, and he's like starting to fucking grind his fucking teeth and shit, right? Yeah. Had a heart attack at an early age, like very, very fucking stressed out dude, right?
Sucks, dude. Stress sucks. It'll kill you.
It will. Like, and he literally dropped dead from it, and then like came back. But that's another story. Wow. He says. He's waiting, he hasn't heard anything about the Stephen King thing. He's waiting for it, and he gets a call, right? Oh, that's right, because he calls Stephen King's manager and says, yeah, there's this comic book script he was supposed to do. And he's like, oh yeah, well, here's the deal. Like, Stephen's like on the set of a movie that he's directing, Maximum Overdrive, right? The less said about the better, right? Whatever. He gave it a shot. Whatever. It's all good, right?
Well, Frank Miller spirit shit.
Yeah. I'm not Clive Barker, unfortunately, right? So he's just like, I'll get your message to him, and he's just like, there's no fucking way he's gonna fucking call Stephen King on the set of a movie that he's directing. Like, oh yeah, there's that comic book story. So his phone rings. It's Stephen King. He's like, oh hey Denny. Oh hey, yeah, what's up, man? He's like, oh yeah, that story. Yeah, no, I didn't forget about it. No, don't worry, it'll be on your desk tomorrow. Yeah, no worries. Okay, bye. I got a movie to direct. See ya, right? And he's just like, there's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. He shows up the next day. What's on his fucking desk from fucking FedEx? The fucking comic book script for House of Mystery from fucking Stephen King. And
he probably had that shit ready.
Professional.
He had it ready, like King, and his dad, dude. From my understanding, his dad, dude, not only that, his dad was a pulp writer, so it was in his fucking DNA. And his dad bounced at a young age, right? And I also understand he's a medium too. He's a medium on top of that, so he's in tune with a lot of shit.
So that's what that's all about. That's what that's all about. That whole thread in his fiction that he has some mediumistic abilities.
Yeah. Well, dude, he's seen the dead body at the young age from the stand.
I know that. He's
seen the dead body. He's seen the ghost. Yeah. Right. Because he's a medium and he speaks of it. Right. And I don't think that has to do with the coke or anything like that, and the alcoholism and the drugs. But he fucking, dude, and his dad was a pulp writer like Robert E. Howard. You know what I mean? And he loved Howard probably. And Lovecraft. And it's just kind of
found all his old shit. That's what he had of his father.
Yeah, and he didn't have his dad. Like, imagine your dad leaving, bro, and he's like this fucking dude that writes a bunch of stories, and I don't know, maybe he's reading the stories too or not, and You know, it
Maybe
sucks not having a dad around,
probably
dude.
looking
You
for
know what I
his
mean?
father.
Yeah,
Probably
always.
looking
Oh,
for his
always,
father in
always.
those pages,
That's
right?
something you never stop looking for.
Oh,
Your dad
ever.
leaves, you're always gonna be looking for your father, dude.
Yes,
You're
yes.
gonna need
Or
that,
like,
dude.
or,
So
or to get, or in my case, to get your father's approval, right?
fuck yeah, dude.
And it's one of those things I
Who doesn't want their
realized a
dad
long
around,
time ago.
bro?
I'm never getting it,
Yeah.
and I'm never going to stop wanting it.
Yeah, no, dude. What kind of man doesn't want their pops around, dude, for the rest of their life? You know, everyone
And have
wants
their
their dad
approval.
around.
Be like,
Yeah.
son, you
Hey,
did
Dad,
good.
what do you think of this? You know, I mean, if he's a man, if he's a dad, you know, you're always gonna want his approval. You're always gonna want to kick it with him. But I mean, you know, we know about King, and you know, he was coking it up and drinking fucking trash
Killing
cans
himself.
filled of
Tall boys.
cans,
That's how he discovered
pounding
he
them,
was
you
an
know,
alcoholic. Was when recycling came around.
the cans, right?
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
but
They just
I
saw
got
this
something
mountain of
for
fucking
you,
tall
Brian.
boy cans. And he went, oh shit, I think I got a problem.
I got something for you, Brian. I don't know if you've heard of this, but I
And
did know
cheers to
one
him for
thing.
cleaning his act up too.
Oh, for sure. But it is definitely. So, Brutal Legend. I don't know if you're familiar with Brutal Legend, Brian.
I never played it. But I'm familiar. I am familiar with it, and I know that it has a very special place in your heart.
So it has a very like special place in my heart, but it's a game, dude, where you're a roadie, and it's actually voiced by Jack Black.
Yeah.
And you go to this world, man, and it's basically a world that's like put together, like visually, it looks like Frank Frazetta put it together.
Oh.
And it's
yeah.
and metal album art, you know, and this is Double Fine. We're on their website right now. And this is the company that made the game, and he did some other bullshit, but it for me, it can never like amount to what Brutal Legend is, you know?
Right.
And, you know, Jack Black is this roadie, and he's at a fucking new metal show. They're like Limp Bizkit mixed with Linkin Park, you know, and they're rapping like, you know, some fucking gay shit, right? And then, there's like this, it almost looks like the mascot from Motorhead, you know, falls on the stage and just murders the guys. You know, they're just dead. And he gets sucked into.
He's gonna get payback.
Yeah, well, I mean, not for that, but like, he just is like, well, whatever, and then he just gets sucked in. He just gets sucked into this world from this amulet, like this it almost looks like the Motorhead, you know, mascot, and it transports him to this world, dude. And in this world, you're driving fucking a hot rod, and you can keep souping it up. You go to Ozzy Osbourne to fucking give you different upgrades to your car. You play different shows. You meet different tribes throughout this world, and these landscapes are beautiful. You have an axe, and you also have a sword. You play shows against different subclasses of metal. There's the gothic dudes. There's the 80s hair metal bands. There's the Kiss Army, the Kiss Army Jungle Queens that are all women.
My God.
So the Amazonian Kiss Jungle Queens. Yeah, man, you actually could turn into this like demonic beast with these wings that fly around. And you can play guitar solos to melt people's faces and just fuck them up. And
did Rick Remender write this?
I don't know, but Brian
Rick Remender wrote a lot of video games.
Brian Posehn's in here, dude, and like you meet him and you go on some missions for him. Lemmy's in here, like he lends his voice as well. You go up to Lemmy to fucking you kill these, you know, the Motorhead mascots are like these wild hogs that have these metal antlers that you go around and you hunt them. And Judas Priest singer, you know, Rob Halford's in here. He's actually for some reason he's the singer of the main hair metal band, which kind of is like different, you know, subgenre altogether. But this game is fucking metal as hell.
Yeah.
I was talking to my buddy today, and he's like, "Hey, dude, I still got the game, you know." And I don't know, man. It's so fucking cool, and if no one's played it, they need to definitely check it out. And I wanted to show also some just some more screenshots of the game. They also have a game where it's just like the art, or I'm sorry, they have a book, The Art of Brutal Legend. I haven't picked it up yet, but it is just phenomenal, man. And if you're into like Zelda, those types of games, you're gonna love this game. Just like the metal genre unto itself, and you play shows against other people too. Like there's a part where you're playing a show against some other bands, and it's a fully like interactive world where you drive around again in this hot rod, and they have little side missions and things like that. And
it looks like the Orgasmatron.
Yeah, dude. And they're like, there's Lemmy right there. Lemmy's in the game. You know,
Nice.
you get different guitars.
You know what they need to do? They need to have like a new version of this because they're doing that with a lot of old games. Like they're coming out with like a revamped version of the Thing game that was for the PlayStation 2.
That would be cool. I'd be down with that. There's your hot rod right there.
Oh, bitchin'.
The big mouth on there. And Jack Black, when he was promoting this, he put on a big muscle suit, you know, right here. Because he is a character, you know. He's like all swole as fuck right here, you know. Eddie Riggs is the name of the character. I could totally like see him doing this movie, you know. Like this is actually when I got into like Jack Black because of this game, you know. Like I always thought he was cool, but I didn't know. I knew he was kind of a metalhead, but like
he got me with Tenacious D. The original Tenacious D shorts were just fucking hilarious.
And then here's the like Howardian like world, you know, that is the game, you know. There's a map of it, you know.
Nice.
And when you start the game, right? The loading screen is Jack Black just walking down the street going into a record store, and he pulls a record off of and it's actually him. They actually filmed him going in there. That's the loading screen or the beginning of the game. You're walking with them on the scene. He goes in the store. You go in with them. It's all live footage of the actual actor going into the actual store in L.A. somewhere or in Hollywood or somewhere and pulling out the Brutal Legend record, and he opens it up, and that's the loading screen or that's the title screen of the game. Pretty cool. There's one of the places in the game that you go to. They have this like wall of amps that's just like right on the coast in the game. Like you go to the coast, and in the game, there's 70 different songs on there, and they're all broken down into different subgenres of metal, and they're real bands. So you know you got new metal, black metal, thrash metal, Viking metal, things like that. You know, new metal, and it just kind of breaks them all down. It's pretty funny. And yeah, it's just a really fun game. I like the gothic world that you go to too. Here's some
cool goth metal world.
Yeah, it's just really like just all goth. Like
love me some goth metal.
Cemetery fucking
my shit, man. That's my shit.
Cemetery right as you're driving through with your car, you know, and you can get out and fight people all you want. It's really cool. It's just gory as fucking get out. Tim Curry is the main villain in here. He's like this big demon.
Oh, really?
Clive Barker and fucking villain. Here's one of them right here on the side. Brian, you'll fucking love this game. It's so fun.
See, they need to revamp this. It's just like the thing.
I got so mad. The game froze on me, bro. It froze on me, so I turned it off. Like there's these like gargoyle statues that are locked up in the game that are all over the world, and you go up to them and play like a solo or something like that, and unlocks them, or you do something, and it gives you like some little bullshit, you know. And I went up to one of them, and the game froze on me. And I was like, "You motherfucker!" I was so like deep into the game too. Really pissed me off.
I need to put this shit on fucking Steam or something.
But it's been so long that now I don't even give a fuck. You know what I mean? I'm like totally down to just go back and play it. And my buddy was like,
"It's what?
Dude, I got it.
What's
you want
the platform? Xbox,
PlayStation 3. It's on Steam right now, and I know Razor. I know Razorfist played it, and they do have the Tenacious D guitar. You can unlock the Tenacious D guitar in here and play it.
Tenacious D.
But it is by far the most metal fucking video game ever made, and I've talked about it on here, and I'll talk about it again too. Let's see, we got some comments right here. What we got? Hey, what up, K-pop? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, and Brian, I think you should check it out. If you got Steam, definitely like check it out and play it.
I will. They got a sale on right now, man. It's a summer sale.
I think you'll love the game.
That shit right now.
I think you'll love the game, and you'll have a lot of fun playing it. In the first part of the first couple like 10 minutes, it's just like an action sequence. You're driving the car and you're fucking chopping up all these like Clive Barkerian like witch ladies, you know, like the ones I showed you the picture of on this altar, and you're driving down with the hot rod, and you're dude, it's so fun. It's so immersive.
I'm literally buying it right this second. It is 75% off. Guess what I just paid for that shit? $374, B. No,
it's like the best investment you've ever had. But just play the game and have fun with it, man. It's just a fun world. You just want to go and have fun. It's a beautiful game. I love it. It's actually been an inspiration for my next comic book a little bit in some ways. Like he's a comic book character. Like they could totally make a easily fart a comic book out of this, you know. And in the metal genre, like we've covered it before, we'll cover it again. The trope of, you know, a rock and roll dude or a metalhead being in a comic book, their cape and their cowl is their guitar axe. You know, that's what they have. They have their guitar axe. You know what I mean? They have their guitar, and they're usually running around chopping people up with their guitar. You know what I mean? With the axe.
Right.
And I think Gene Simmons is the Demon was the first one that actually had that stage prop, and it was like, oh, you can make an axe out of a guitar and da-da-da-da. So you'll see it everywhere, and I fucking love it, and everyone's doing it, myself included, except I got a guitar axe and a guitar sword, which my character, hopefully we get it done and he'll do that. But I really wanted to show that. I've been holding on to that one for a while, but I don't know, man. You actually have a campaign up right now. I wanted to actually kind of go over it with you a little bit. Oh yeah, I think you do.
I didn't know that.
Right?
Know that? No, yeah, I do.
Gander at that.
Yeah, I do.
Gander.
It is. Yeah, no, it's for the SIXGUN Gorilla Volume 2 trade paperback. The Great Silence.
Here we go.
And this is going to collect issues 7 through 10. And if you are new to the world of SIXGUN Gorilla, you can get the floppies in a floppy pack. You can get the first trade paperback by itself, or you can get volumes 1 and 2, and I knocked like $5 off the price.
Man, I love Preston's art, man. I love that cover.
Oh, dude.
Like, there's a lot of really good artists out there in our scene. There's a lot of like mainstream guys that came over and like came in our scene and kind of usurped it, and they're fucking badasses. But they're just, oh man, they're just so many good artists in there. But Preston's just on another level, bro.
Preston's my boy, right? So he's a friend, but then there's Preston the artist. I always say, like, I'm kind of in awe of Preston the artist. Preston the dude, he's just a good dude, a gentleman to the core. But man, he is possessing like of this like near supernatural talent. And I've been lucky enough to watch him level up.
It's crazy, man. No, like he like he was always good, but he just leveled up like crazy God mode status. Like he did it, and also someone else said it too. Like I put him up there with Kyle Hotz. Like they're like my two favorite artists right now. And someone said that he went to fucking Mordor and came back like a different artist. And I feel like, Preston's one of those guys too. You know what I mean? Yes. They went to fucking Mordor and they came back like, what the fuck? Like who fucking possessed these motherfuckers? You know what I mean?
It's like they went to D Block and got all fucking jacked and came out.
Yeah. No. I mean, like you guys are good and I love your work. And some of my favorite work by like Kyle Hotz, I have a book of his I want to review that no one's fucking criminally reviewed on any reviews. I'm gonna do it. I've been saving it. And and Preston too, man. And it's just like, fuck, dude. Just next level shit, and you're lucky to have Preston.
Yeah,
and this Dillard cover, man. This John Dillard cover. Man, Dillard, dude, one of the best artists on our scene too. You're lucky to get Dillard on here.
Lucky to be working. Always have been lucky to be working with the people that I'm working with. And I asked Dillard if he wanted to do a SIXGUN cover. He was like, yeah. And he produced this. Hey, what's up, K-pop? And he produced this.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yes, it is nice art. It's very cool art. And what I usually do when I'm working with an artist on a cover, since with the SIXGUN Gorilla covers, they've never usually been scenes from the story traditionally. Right? Because when I get the artist, I'm like, you do you, right? If you want ideas, I have ideas for covers, and I can share those with you if you want me to, and you can pick one of those and do that. But you can, if you have your own idea and you want to just go off and do your thing, as long as it fits the comic book, as long as you don't have him, flying around in a helicopter or something like that. Go to it. And how can you go wrong with a combination of Gorilla plus Zeppelin?
Right. No, you can't go wrong with that, man.
You can. That is like pulp crack right there. That's like peanut butter and chocolate. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think Dillard did a good job with this cover. Like it creates a good. Well, I mean, he always does good with perspectives and foreshortening. But what he did. What I like most about this cover, it's fucking the just like the turbulence and the fucking it's scary in the way of like
it's
equilibrium, and there's a specific word that I'm forgetting
in the
right now.
sense of death, vertigo, maybe.
Vertigo is the word I'm looking for. So the
Right.
vertigo in this piece just fucks me up, man. And
Right.
it's fucking, it's weird that like a dude from just our space and not even in the mainstream pulled off a cover like that where you get it like, oh, and the way you get it is by like, you look at the dudes falling down there and then you look at the canyon in the water, and he just rendered the lighting of the canyon in the water to where it fucks with the vertigo. And I'm just like, wow, okay.
It's
all right, dude.
Right? It's an incredibly beautiful piece. It's an incredibly beautiful piece, and it is also, I should mention, folks, a Fun by Comic exclusive.
What the Dillard covered is?
The Dillard covered it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And, I mean, look, I mean, it says everything about everything that I wanted this comic to be, which is just like high adventure.
Oh, really?
Like pulp shit to the core. A gorilla
adventurous.
fighting cowboys on a fucking Zeppelin. Yeah.
Right?
Look, I'm sorry. The person that goes to like a comic book shop or a bookstore and walks by that without at least going, huh, what?
Yeah.
And picking it up and just at least taking a peek. The person that can just walk by, I don't know. I don't understand that motherfucker. I don't.
Right.
I don't. Yeah. So this, of course, is a beautiful cover that our boy Simon Poitier, by the way, Sim, if you're watching, I hope you're feeling better, my brother. This, of course, is as I believe you know, a parody cover based on the Italian poster art for a spaghetti western starring Lee Van Cleef and Giuliano Gemma called Day of Anger. And I was showing off, like, I remember once, like, I forget if we were on a stream or if this was in the back rooms. I was like showing off all the amazing poster art for like spaghetti westerns.
Right. I love that shit, man.
It's amazing. Right. Because I know I beat this to death, but there was a time in the days of yore when movie posters were original pieces of art. They were paintings. They weren't like hastily photoshopped pieces of shit that you see nowadays. Like people actually made the posters themselves were works of art.
Yep.
And he just loved the composition of it, and Lee Van Cleef looking like a giant, like he's looming over the town. Right?
Yeah.
That works perfect.
He's a Chad, man. I love Lee Van Cleef. I love this poster that he did too.
Amazing.
And I love the coloring, especially on like the figures and whatnot. And I love the different like angles that he did, the different perspectives throughout. It's like a diorama come to life with different
it's dope.
With different.
It's dope.
It's like a probably like 2 or 3 dioramas come to life. I really like it.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool.
And I gotta say, man, Sim's art, Sim's a way better artist than me, just like Preston. And I'm gonna say it too, dude. His art's leveling up too. I think his shit's just getting better and better. Like the new fucking Blood Hunt 2. Like, and Blood Hunt was one of my favorite comic books. Like, I don't give a fuck.
I love it too. I
like the joy I get from reading that. Oh man. Yeah. I love this art right here, man. Sim did some of the layouts for this book too, right? Not all of them, but some of them too, huh?
I think so.
Yeah. I love that. And Preston did these.
Sim's in the house. Speak up, brother. I want to give credit where credit is due. But I do believe that he did
a couple of them.
This is the first, and once again, it's just like the way Preston's leveled up, Sim's leveled up, you're leveling up, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'm leveling up. We all. I mean, that's always
the point.
Leveling up, right?
Yeah, it's leveling up and fucking. Calling people out and trying to make them better. You know what I mean? Like trying to do better stories. Like for me, I'm trying to be a better storyteller and do better art in the process. And Preston, like, I mean, we talked about him a couple moments ago. He's just fucking, for me, he's just like next level, like he leveled up, but then it's just like, oh, he's just doing little tweaks in his art,
Where did he go? Where'd he go?
And,
Preston.
I love this panel right here. The poster that he did.
Stratosphere right now.
And like he has this different he's also a Swiss Army knife. He's one of those guys too, where it just he has these different styles too in his toolbox and his utility belt.
Yes,
and he's a cartoonist. That's what I like about Preston. You know what I mean? And he doesn't give a fuck about being a cartoonist. And I'm a cartoonist too, man. I'm not trying to. I'll never try to just make photorealistic bullshit.
Dude.
That's it. That I make comics, and you know, I that's one thing I respect about Preston. I'm not trying to get the anatomy 100% perfect. I might draw it one way and line it up and look at it and take photo ref, but then I'm gonna break their fucking arms. And
right.
then
You
if
want
I'm
a
gonna
little
fuck,
freshness.
then I might fuck with some anatomy, and then I also might fuck with some forced perspective, you know. And
right.
Other than that, I don't really want to deal with it. You know what I mean? It's just
right. And I always like art, and Preston and I, we see eye to eye on this, right? Because with Adrian, who was wonderful, and I miss him terribly, but he was all about trying to make his shit as clean as possible.
Yeah, no,
and
I mean,
I had to persuade him, right?
To
like
break it a little bit, right?
That was a style that we arrived at that both of us would be happy with. Right.
Well, I mean, like, and there's like that talk too on like Twitter.
Pulling him in another, but ultimately, you know, the important thing is to, when you're a writer, it's just like, but also understand that if you want the artist to do something completely different, then just get another artist, right?
Yeah, no, get another artist that suits the story better. Yeah.
Right. But we arrived at a style that both of us were happy with.
You were happy with? Yeah, because there's been a lot of talk about like art styles on Twitter and anatomy and things like that, and it's just fucking like, dude. And a lot of these people are supposed to be like comic book readers. Like, where the fuck did you guys come from? Did you guys read a fucking comic?
They're the new
shit. Did you guys read? I mean, okay. Let me go further. You guys read fucking manga? Because dude, like manga's just the same. Like it just got these crazy fucking perspectives and twerked anatomy, and it should. It's fucking cartooning in a fucking medium that is sequential. All right, that derived from the American comic book superhero fucking medium, you know, and it's just
it's not supposed to be an accurate representation of reality.
That's
thing that's
lame
so
as
insane about the whole "where are her organs" argument. It's just like, you realize that she doesn't have any organs because she's a drawing, you stupid motherfuckers.
Yeah, and read the story, read that bomb ass story too, you know, and if it's a cover, it's got to pop too, you know, and that's like two different conversations too.
Right.
The cover has to sell it. You know, it has to pop. And reality ain't going to pop and ain't going to sell. You know what I mean? It's just not.
Especially when you're dealing in the fantasy genre. If you're reading a Daniel Close comic, maybe you don't want the women to look like they came out of a Frank Cho comic, right?
I mean, if you're reading like a gothic fucking detective story, you might want to light it like a little different and put some shadows down, make it like Tim Bradstreet with some fucking Sienkiewicz or some shit, which still you don't have to fucking do that either. But that shit's still boring. It still has fucking boundaries, dude, which I don't like. Shit needs to be broken. I think in comic books covers.
Aren't these the Tumblr art people? Tumblr art isn't.
I won't even like talk about Tumblr art just because
it's trash. It's trash.
Me, it doesn't evoke anything. I don't feel anything from
soulless.
It doesn't evoke any emotion from it. You know, I don't get pumped up from it. It doesn't get my juices flowing. When I see a cover, the cover's got to get my juices flowing more than the book itself, so I can pick it up off.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I mean, that's the hook. That's the hook, right? And then, of course, when you have the actual book, you have to deliver, right? Because the cover's making you a promise.
Yeah, and the delivery is what's going to bring it back for issue 2, right, Brian?
Absolutely. And I've been super lucky to have return customer after return customer after return customer, and to actually have like a little bit of a fan base, and to have backers, people that actually allow me to do this.
Yeah, dude.
A privilege. I always say. And these 100%. Are the first 9 pages of the comic, by the way.
Oh, I love it, dude. And I love the roof right there, the little piping, the plumbing, and just the anatomy of the gorilla looks fucking dope. You know what I mean? And the cartooning, you know, and the panel layout, the sound effects. It's all on point. The wrinkles, the fucking stretches, and the sinews, and the veins in the fucking face. Oh man, he just looks like an uber fucking badass.
A caption that was going to go on this page,
or
2, and I was just like, threw that shit out. Didn't need it. And I am very much, you know, maybe some of my other stuff is a little talkier, and stuff that I'll be doing in the future will be a little talkier, maybe. But for this, I wanted to tell a story where you could follow the story, know exactly what's happening, even if you couldn't read.
I mean, it just depends on the
Show
the
don't tell.
chapter. Just depends on the chapter, I guess,
That's
right?
good. Yeah, and that's the thing. The last 2 issues, all action, all fucking action, all fucking mayhem. There's a denouement. Wait, how the fuck do you say that? A denouement, right? Which is, you know, the thing that's sort of like the epilogue to the story.
Okay.
Right? So the story doesn't just end, boom, at the end of the climax. There's, you know, a resolution where you get an idea of maybe where the characters might be headed, or, you know, you wrap the story up. And aside from that, that's going to be maybe a little talky and also hopefully emotional as fuck. But in terms of the bulk of the last 2 issues, it's just fucking straight up Gorilla versus Zeppelin mayhem.
I'm digging it, man. I can't wait to get this
climax. You know, it needed a big climax because the whole story, I started it out small, and then it just got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then that was my intention, was to end this like on like an epic, like, you know, James Bondian pulp level. And you know, people have been along for the ride, and couldn't be more grateful for that, man.
No, that's fucking awesome, man. And I love like the talent that you've brought onto these books. They've all been fucking cool, and the different artists. You know, you had Adrian Sabar and you got Preston coming in, and
amazing.
I just think that, you know, they're both excellent artists, and it flows perfectly together. And I'm really digging this print right here by our boy
Adam Miller.
Dude. Adam Miller, yeah. And it looks really cool. I remember just seeing that, and I know that people that back this book are gonna get this. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. People who backed it like in the first week, but you know what? I may. Well, here's the thing. Adam told me he very graciously, because this was his artwork for his trading card, and he said, like, you're free to use this for anything you like except a trading card.
Oh, okay. And
I was like, thank you, sir, because this is fucking rad, and this is beautiful, and I think it needs to be on my wall.
Yeah, that would be a cool poster. A good album cover for a SIXGUN Gorilla. I'd like to hear a SIXGUN Gorilla album.
I have a soundtrack.
And speaking of like soundtrack, dude, you got a trailer up here that needs watching. If that's all right.
That's
by
right.
you.
Yeah. My man Vaughn made this for me.
Vaughn's fucking killing it on the trailer front.
Yeah,
I just got Vaughn. I just got Vaughn's Katara Witch Hunter, right?
I didn't get mine.
I got mine, and he forgot to send me the Necrovonicon. I was like, hey, brother, you know, I love this Katara Witch Hunter, looks dope. Can't wait to read it, but I didn't get my Necronomicon. So like, it was like, oh, no problem, bro. And he sent it to me, and like I had it in 2 days. And he also packed in a poster and another copy of Katara Witch Hunter. So now I have fucking 2 of them. So like, Vaughn delivers. Hail Vaughn, he's the homie, he's the OG, Vaughn. He's fucking, you know, he's the man. So and you guys need like a guy to fucking, you know, dude. The dude does fucking killer logos, killer trailers. He's an awesome editor. He can help you with a lot of different things with writing. Just shoot him a DM on fucking on Twitter, and you know, Bonster,
He's one of the great talents in our scene. He's one of the great talents in our scene, and also
he's a really nice guy, dude. Like if you talk to him, all you gotta do is shoot him a DM. So.
That's that. You see, that's the fucking that. This is the way. It's like if somebody, like the person I sent, like somebody got a empty Gemini mailer from me.
Oh.
Now, whether it was my fault or not, regardless, somebody got a fucking empty Gemini mailer from me.
Wow.
Right? So I made sure to fucking send him a new one, and then I'll be throwing like a little extra issue or some shit. Right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And an apology, because that's the thing. It's like, go tell you know, whoever it is that's working at Marvel or DC right now. It's like, yeah, I didn't get my comic. Yeah, good luck getting in touch with them. You get in touch directly with us.
Yeah, you could contact us on Twitter or you know.
Yeah,
comment on this, and we're gonna get back to you within 24 hours, dude. You know, and like for me with my books, I mail them in 24 hours. I live 2 blocks from the post
TCB in a
office.
flash, dude.
So
TCB in a flash.
You know.
Yup.
But,
yeah. When
dude.
you order a book from Homeboy, you get it quick. But that's the thing. Vaughn's representing.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I feel too. It's like when there's a problem with somebody's order, I'm not just representing me. I'm representing you. I'm representing him. I'm representing the whole.
Yeah.
Because
the inner
enough
sphere.
motherfuckers decide they're not going to fulfill on their campaigns and give people the stuff that they paid for. That's like
like most people,
your homies in the back.
Most of the fucking like real indie guys, that are in the scene, they fulfill within like a year or two, and
we are
sooner,
sincere.
and they're learning how to fucking do it, and once you get to a certain point, you kind of can get it down, and what up, Sim? Let me know, man. If you want to come on the show, I'll shoot you a link, brother.
I'll be feeling better, brother.
Send me a link. I know you're not feeling too well, but if you want, man, you want to jump into this trailer?
Hell yeah! I just need to get a refill. I'm fucking sweating to death over.
I'm gonna get a refill here when you get back.
All right.
When I get a second. But,
back in the flash with the stash.
And it don't get much better than those wrecks, dude. Fucking
yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
You did a great job. You did an excellent job. But
go our land still, man. Fucking
well, maybe you might.
Dixon, Mike Barron, all like the book, dude.
Dude,
that's like should be a backer right there. Just reading that, Joe Lansdale, creator of Bubba Hotep with Bruce Campbell, he fucking dug it.
Oh my god, and
awesome.
so much other shit too. Had a classic run on Jonah Hex. Also did a really good Conan comic.
I gotta get that Jonah Hex, dude. I seen that shit the other day in the store and I was gonna buy it, but I didn't get it. I gotta get it though. I seen that book off a graphic novel.
Well, he does fuck with Jonah Hex in the sense that, like, how Marvel Comics, they decided we're going to make Jonah Hex steampunk?
Yeah.
Joe Lansdale was like, I'm going to make Jonah Hex Weird West.
Yeah.
Right? And Jonah Hex always kind of was Weird West.
Mm-hmm.
But there were, like, no monsters.
Right. Not too weird.
Or supernatural, any supernatural shit. And in the first one, you're left wondering, is there anything supernatural going on here? Maybe yes, maybe no. And then by like the third one, he's just like doing like some fucking crazy fucking Lovecraft shit. And it's all illustrated by Timothy Truman, one of my favorites. God, I gotta get him to do a fucking SIXGUN cover one of these days. Holy shit, that would be amazing. But
you gotta get these guys up, dude, while they're still alive,
I know. Check this out, dude.
What you got there, man?
Check it out. These are all the figurines I painted for the Conan skirmish game.
Oh shit.
Yeah, man. Actually, it's weird because it's like, like whenever everybody in my family started dying, I went back to this hobby, which I loved when I was like, I don't know, 12, 13 years old. It helped me survive a pretty unhappy childhood. And I got back into fucking painting these things. And there is something just very, very, I don't know, therapeutic. There's like a demon beastie. I don't know how well you can see this. We got
Cool.
Conan. Wait. Oh, there's Thack. Our boy Thack. I don't know how well you can see him. Probably not that.
Yeah.
Thack, he's the red cloaked ape man that you know, that famous painting that that Frazetta did.
Yeah,
he's
with
like jumping
fighting
on his shoulders.
the red cape.
Start shanking him. There's the Grim Cimmerian himself.
Keep showing him. I'm gonna go grab a drink. I'll be right back.
Skirmish game.
Show a couple more. I'm gonna go grab a drink. I'll be right back.
You got it, brother. Yeah, and then these are like guardsmen, bowmen, and there's like 15 of like each. So I just kind of like worked on them like I was working on a assembly line. But then also the more classic characters, like there's Bellet, Queen of the Black Coast, Conan's one great love. And this, I think, is Tuthamon. See the skulls on the back of his cloak. And what else have I got in here? Oh, yeah, mummies. Mummies with scimitars. I don't know why I made their flesh purple. I don't know. It kind of worked. I don't know why I'm showing these because you can't even really see them too
I can see them pretty good.
The lighting in the room isn't exactly great.
That's dope.
But yeah, these were a lot of fun to. A lot of.
You got
fun.
any Solomon Kane in there?
No, oh, dude, I missed out. I was broke when they had released the Solomon Kane
Tabletop
game with the figurines and everything.
Dude, you know what I want? There's this
I'm sure I could probably
mecha.
get those on like eBay for like $500,000 or something.
There's this mecha Solomon Kane that I want. It's like $200. And it's got like all the shit on it, you know? I know. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Yeah, it's like $200. It's the shit, dude. I remember Razorfish had like a competition like for an art thing, and that was the win. And he's like, it's $200, and I looked at him like, damn, I want that shit.
For what was it? A figurine or a
action figure, bro? It's like, I think it's from Mecca or something, but I want it. It's $200.
Oh,
so I got a little bit of Rebel 100 in here.
The Mezco.
Yeah, no, you gotta order it, Brian.
Where'd all the Solomon Kane shit suddenly come from?
Yeah.
Holy shit! This is
got some
fucking
strawberry water right here from fucking or it's a sparkling water from Aldi. This shit's bomb. A little Rebel 100. It's a 50% rye whiskey. I'll put the whole can in here and I do like 3 shots. And it makes a pretty nice drink. I don't drink them straight up too much.
Yeah, I mean, it's
kind of on the edge of lighter fluid a little bit. For some reason, the rye is usually strong. It's usually smoother for me, like with Bullet and a couple of other brands. But for some reason, the Rebel 100, the rye is fucking straight lighter fluid for me.
Dang, y'all. Yeah, as long as you pace yourself.
Well, yeah, I do. Dude, I only drink like once a. Dude, it's fucking amazing, bro. I have to have it. It's
what
200
the fuck?
bones.
It's $125. God damn.
Oh, really? Oh, well, I would. You know, my birthday's coming up, so I might get it.
Wait. What's GBP? Am I on like?
Well, you might want to check Amazon. I just got me in some dope ass fucking Tombow. Man, Tombow's a dope at like a bomb brand. Like they have some cool like India ink markers, like little ones, you know.
Yeah.
And they have these little micro. Like everyone's been using. Like I'm behind the game, dude. Everybody, like most of the dudes like in our space that have they use erasers a lot, like the micro Tombow erasers, like tiny little mechanical erasers. And I haven't been using them. You know, they're cool for like, you know, like highlights and veins and shit like that. You know, I'm like, fuck, dude. I mean, I know about the electric erasers. I don't really use them, but I picked up some micro erasers, dude. Like a whole pack of them for like $8. I was like, hell yeah, I can't wait to get in there and do some highlights, when I need to. So I was really excited about that. Because
I'm always fascinated hearing you guys talk about mediums, right?
Mm-hmm.
Different kinds of nibs and brushes and inks and paper and shit, and how I was really fascinated by the fact that that there were I forget who it was, but there were these sketch covers that came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
That were, I think maybe that was the heavy metal one, and Preston got one, and or a bunch of them, and he was pissed because the paper wasn't the kind of paper an artist wants to work on.
Oh,
I guess
I can see
because
that.
ink runs off it or something like that.
Yeah.
Absorbent.
Yeah. It's got to be I don't know if it's mixed multimedia or if it's a specific type of vellum Bristol or just Bristol whatnot, but
Sim, I don't have any paints. That's right. I gotta talk to your boy about painting.
All right, Simmy. Get better, brother. You got to rest, dude.
Yeah,
rest
feel
up.
better, man.
The only way you're going to ever get better is sleep. Sleep and drink a bunch of fluids. And I know you've heard it probably a million times, but sleeping is the only way those blood cells are going to regenerate themselves. I hate it too, but it's the only way you're going to get better is 2 weeks. It takes 2 weeks to get better from anything. I don't give a fuck what it is. It's always 2 weeks and sleep. You got to sleep. Waste your day sleeping. You got to go take wasteful naps. You can't get no fucking product done. But that's the only way it works. And sometimes you wake up damn, you feel better, and then your throat might start hurting again. But I don't know, Brian, man. We're doing all this talk about gorillas and and monsters and painting stuff up and Robert E. Howard, and I don't know, man. It's got me kind of in the mood. I'm thinking about doing some monster hunting. What about you?
Oh, I'm always down.
All right, well.
Hell yeah.
I don't got it yet. Are you guys ready? Let's hear a drum roll. You guys ready for the bat squatch? You guys ever heard about the bat squatch?
The bat squatch. Okay, is this old shit or is this the new shit?
To be honest, I don't know, but I know that I bought a beer from Rogue Brewery, the one that does the dead old guy ale or whatnot, and I did it with because I used to match up. I used to do reviews of usually indie books, the indie series that we're in, and that was one book that I did that, and I always thought fucking bat squatch, like a bat with Bigfoot put together, Sasquatch. Thought that was dope, dude. But I didn't know it was a thing. I didn't know it was an actual fucking cryptid, and I just thought it was amazing. So, but to get into a little bit per CryptoWiki, the bat squatch is a flying cryptid that was allegedly seen near Mount St. Helens in the 1980s. It resembles a flying primate, similar to the ahul, which we talked about in another stream, and the Anji-Bati and the Southeast Asia. It's the name of a portmanteau derived from the words bat and Sasquatch. A witness allegedly took several pictures of the creature. However, these pictures have not yet been analyzed and thus cannot prove the creature's existence. I don't know, man. Sounds pretty dope. The creature was said to have yellow eyes, a dog-like muzzle, blue fur, sharp teeth, bird-like feet, and leathery bat wings that spun up to 50 feet. In addition, Bat Squatch is said to be 9 feet tall and has the ability to affect car engines. What the fuck? In 1994, Brian Canfield was driving in Washington, Pierce County, when his truck suddenly died. Canfield said a large creature landed in front of him. He said it was human-like, 9 feet tall, with bat-like wings, and also sported a coat of blue fur. Ever since, it has been seen, and it has not been seen, and skeptics dismissed it as a hoax. So a possible second sighting was reported in 2009 near Mount Shasta, California. It's over by here. Several hikers witnessed a huge creature with leathery wings spanning 50 fucking feet fly out of a crevice in the mountain. At first, an eyewitness described the creature as having a head similar to that of a pterodactyl. However, upon reconsideration, the witness claimed it was more akin to that of a flying fox bat. And another one in June 2011, Phoenix, pseudonym Tiraz, was in his yard walking his dog. He went up to pick up the dog, and when he saw he saw something in the sky, he said the following: I saw something flying in the sky. It had bat wings, blue fur. It had a face similar to eyes glowing. A face. It had a face similar to eyes glowing red. I don't know. Maybe they put that wrong in there. It was 9 feet tall. At least after I watched it, just flew away. Sounded like the guy was kind of, emotional. And yeah, man. And the final one is in April 14, 2015, in Archbishop Hoban High School in Arcon, Ohio. A second period Spanish class spotted a black mass zip by the window of a classroom at an incredible speed. The class claims it was about 9 feet tall with a 20 to 30 foot wingspan. So I don't know, Brian. What's your take on this, bro?
I think Homeboy was probably tripping balls or on a bender or something. It sounds like very much like a mix and match monster. I mean, then again, remember that the oldest monsters are usually chimeras. That is to say, they're bits and pieces of different animals that are kind of put together, right? Like the Sphinx and the fucking I mean, there's like a billion of them, right? The Pegasus, right? You stick some wings here, give it the head of this, tail of that. Yeah, I mean, if it's just, see, that looks like is that an action figure or is that
it looks dope, dude. This one right here.
Does. Yeah.
I'm like, damn, that looks fucking solid.
Yeah,
it reminded me of
it's a custom.
Battle Brick Road, dude. That was one of the things I love about that book. I still got a back to the second one.
Yeah, me too.
And I don't know, I just love this creature. I think it's really cool. It's just cool. Real basic. It's just a gorilla or a Sasquatch with bat wings. Something about it, I just really dig it. I think it's really cool.
I'll take it.
It's really cool. Or just a gorilla with bat wing, like when Weathers fucking put that in his book. Okay. Bat Squatch, and it's a beer by Rogue too. Look at that one.
That's cool.
That's weird. Little Gonzo.
Yep.
Now they're doing Bigfoot sightings, which doesn't even have anything to do with that. But yeah. So
Watch is very popular right now, though, man.
What's that? Just Sasquatch in general?
Yeah. And it's just interesting because I remember when I was a little kid in the 70s, there was a Sasquatch boom, right? I think maybe it was precipitated by, or maybe peaked kind of with Legend of Boggy Creek. This, I mean, he showed up on the fucking $6 Million Man. It's Andre the Giant, actually. In like a Sasquatch costume.
Okay.
And it turned out like not to be Sasquatch; it was a robot. And I remember as a kid being very, very mad about that. And I felt
it's kind of maddening, but it's also like pretty dope. It's kind of cool.
Like, no, in retrospect it is, but when you're a kid, you get mad over shit like that. Like what always drove me crazy was like there are aliens, a spaceship's landing, and the doors open, and they look just like us. Gee, boy, you sure saved some money on some fucking makeup effects there, didn't you?
Right. Like for me, when I was a kid, I was so obsessed with like Bigfoot. I just thought it was so cool, and I love Harry and the Hendersons, and like later on, like I don't know, like I really wanted to do a Bigfoot book, and I came up with a couple different designs, like a hippie one and a biker one, right? And I had some ideas for it, and then like as I kind of got into like CG, at the time,
old CG,
old CG,
pre-degenerate CG.
Well, and then I was like, fuck, dude. Like, I mean, like that's when I kind of got into this movement of like indie. Like it was the whole YouTube era thing and creators promoting. I mean, we're still doing it and whatnot, but
for sure,
there was all these fucking Bigfoot books, dude. And like, I'm just saying CG, but there wasn't like even in indie comics and out of CG, like Sasquatch. I think it was like Sasquatch and not something like that, where it was like a flying, like a Sasquatch in space. Then you had obviously Shinobi Sasquatch. We're gonna get, I think, eventually. It's just gonna be egregiously late. And there was, dude, there's just so many like Bigfoot books. There's a lot. Like if you go and look for the Bigfoot comics, there's a lot, and I'm looking, and then I have one more. Like I had the hippie one. I had the bounty hunter biker Sasquatch, which haven't been done like to a T really, right? But I came up with one more idea that hasn't been done yet, and I'm like, fuck, dude.
Bust it. and I'll
No, I'm not
recommend
gonna.
something to
Oh,
you.
I'm not gonna say it because if you put it in the
Okay.
ether, then
Oh yeah, you don't want that out in
someone
the
else will take
ether.
it.
Yeah,
No.
right.
So I have one more, and it's very obvious, and a lot of people could do it, and I'm like, oh, I ain't gonna do that, you know, because that's what it kind of boils down to now that like we have these ideas, everything's been done already, but you have that tweak that you haven't done it yet, so you got to keep your little fucking kind of like take on it, you don't want to put it out there in the ether, because someone could hear it, and then someone could say it, and then they'll talk about that's cool, and then that person can hear it, and that person can say it, and that person can hear it, and then the one motherfucker takes it and like boom. They might have it.
Jinx yourself. And it just might be an old-fashioned jinxing.
Yeah.
There is. Let me see if I can share this on my screen, possibly.
Yeah.
There's a book, and since we were talking about audiobooks and that sort of a thing, my favorite audiobook is World War Z.
Oh, okay.
Fucking phenomenal.
I have to hear that.
It's amazing because what's great about it is that, and don't think about the movie because basically Brad Pitt, I love Brad Pitt, but he bought the rights to World War Z just so he could have the title. Because everything else in that has nothing to do.
I didn't like the movie, man.
It's shit.
I think Brad Pitt's he's an okay actor. Like there's a couple, like he's all right in some shit. You know what I mean?
As fuck, supposedly based as fuck. I told you that story.
He looks based.
Told.
Well, no, I mean I've seen him do shit. He's got probably like 10 solid movies, like 8 to 10 movies. I like him in Interview with the Vampire.
Some great movies. Tyler Durden, one of the great iconic
Fight Club.
So
I liked him, and he fucking throws down, and he does do a good job in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He's the star of the show.
Great in that. Look, I've liked him in everything I've seen him in.
You should. I know you don't like Tarantino, but you should watch that movie, dude. No, but I mean, it's a fairy tale. It's a fairy tale in Hollywood. It's essentially what it is. It's a Grimm's fairy tale. What's up?
At some point they go to Italy. That's why
they do a little bit. I think you'll like the movie. No, just watch the movie and forget it's Tarantino, and it's like a cool little fairy tale about Hollywood. A Grimm's fairy tale, right? Grimm.
Right. Because there's the Spawn Ranch makes an appearance, and the Manson kids.
Exactly, dude. And so like you gotta watch it, Brian.
And he fucks him up. I did see that scene.
That he fucks him up, dude. He fucks him up. So like I like me some Brad Pitt.
The Bruce Lee thing way too seriously. I don't think that. But that's the thing. People are idiots. They think that like movies are like actual like history.
No, it's a fucking fairy tale. I mean, it's fun. Like and Tarantino, all of his movies are fairy tales. Like they're completely exaggerated. I mean, plagiarist, artist, however you want to call them. But I mean, they're not reality, bro. Like they're just fun.
I mean, that's one of my favorite things about Scorsese was like somebody was criticizing Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut because it was shot in London.
Yeah, no, I like this.
Supposed to be in New York, and so it was like that doesn't look like
you brought this up a lot.
14th Street.
Yeah, no,
and
I agree
like, and Scorsese is like, what made people think that films are supposed to be an accurate representation of reality?
To me, that's like someone comparing a fucking drawing and saying that of a comic book character and saying why is the anatomy fucked up? Why is it not perfect?
If you want reality, watch a documentary.
Yeah, and if you want a fucking realistic comic book, go fucking look at a picture. You know what I mean? And fucking create a narrative and create a narrative in your fucking skull. You know what I mean? Other than that, watch the movie and enjoy it. Read the comic and enjoy it. Look at the comic book cover and enjoy it. Otherwise, go fuck off. You know what I mean? Simple as that.
Yep.
I agree. But that just comes down to people that actually feel passionate about that and don't have some fucking like cancel pig motive behind it. You know what I mean? Right. So like that's two other things entirely. Which most people aren't gonna. I don't know. It would have to be a character that's been around for like fucking 500 years, like Iron Man, to where they were like, I don't like that, But if it's just someone that's new in the indie scene that doesn't, then that's something else, entirely.
Oh, for sure.
You said World War Z.
Well, I mentioned World War Z because of a book that I think you'd really enjoy. Also by Max Brooks, because when he did the a book called like the Zombie Survival Guide. I bought it. I read it. I enjoyed it. It was goofy fun. And then he came out with World War Z, and it was just like bang. Suddenly there's like this instant classic.
Oh yeah.
That's like a zombie novel, right? And
Right.
I love that his unpretentiousness too. Is asked, so why are you writing about zombies? He's like, because zombies freak me out. So
Yeah.
he followed that up with a Sasquatch book, and
Oh, okay.
he was
Here we
asked,
go. Here we
like,
go.
why write about Sasquatch? And he's
Mhm.
like, because Sasquatch freaks me out.
It kind of does. I mean, if you think about like certain ways it could be
Yeah,
interpreted,
yeah,
like
yeah.
that movie we watched, Abominable, or certain
Yes, I love that
visions of
movie.
Sasquatch where he's got the teeth. Like, oh man, and this, like, it could be
Right, right.
terrifying. Like,
But
100%.
this is a great story because what it's about is that it's about a trendy, hip, northwestern a community, right? That's like
Okay.
almost like a biosphere, except
Yeah.
it's really not. It's actually kind of the opposite
Okay.
because it's not really self-sustaining. It's this little community where rich people go and basically they're glamping, right?
Mm.
And everything they need is flown in by drone.
Hmm.
Right? Because
Tempered.
the roads and shit aren't accessible, but San
Yeah.
Francisco is like that way, right?
Yeah.
So they can fucking fly anything in. But then
Yeah.
there's a series of forest fires.
Fuck.
And so
Okay.
they're cut off from the outside world. And the fire is driving animals towards them, and the animals are bringing something else with them.
I got you.
And they're hungry.
I like this, man.
Running out of food.
Fuck, man.
And it's really, really good. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
That sounds fun.
Why is that not a movie? I remember. I mean, it's been years now, and I'm just like, why the fuck?
And
is
these
that
actors,
not a movie?
like, when are these actors gonna give a fuck about, like, when the fuck are these artist actors gonna go stop giving a fuck about trivial bullshit and start getting back into art? Like, I always look at
they're there,
and what almost
there.
I'm not almost there. They need one more fucking big toe put into their fucking corn spitter. And when I think of I think of one of them, I look at Brad Pitt and George Clooney, like they're both cool, whatever.
Yeah,
but like, and they got this one movie coming out where they're like Hitman-ish type fucking bullshit that's coming out on like Apple TV or Amazon or bullshit. I'm like, you motherfuckers are still making those stupid fucking movies together. When the fuck are you gonna do something like From Dusk Till Dawn? Like, still nothing has come close from Dusk Till Dawn for George Clooney. You know what I mean? Why didn't you do that, dude? Like, do something like really dirty.
Well, how about do that? But I mean, because you know me, right? It's like I don't like that movie.
You don't like it?
No, because when the vampires show up, it turns into a comedy. Now you're gonna love it because it's slapstick. You love yourself some slapstick, and that's cool, and that's all right. That's all right. But for me, when the fact that they didn't play the horror straight ruined it for me. Really? And I actually read the screenplay, and this is after I saw the movie, right? This is when I would read any screenplay I could get my hands on, right? And so I'm reading the screenplay, and as you're reading it, you realize, oh, like, this is meant to be a surprise. Because when you're watching the movie, like, when you were getting to the vampires, it's meant to, like, From Dusk Till Dawn, it doesn't scream vampire, but then afterwards, when you think of it, it's just like, oh, yeah, right?
But I don't know, though, man. They I think they did a good job. But I mean, I don't know.
It got too goofy. It got too goofy.
It got extremely goofy.
Vampires are all soft and they're exploding, and there's just guts everywhere.
Well, it went beyond slapstick. It did go beyond
tension.
Well, I mean, even the band, they're like, "Good night, motherfuckers." You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I mean, that's my problem.
The whole like just the band thing.
Even the band thing. It so seriously.
Good night, motherfuckers. Like that turns it, or whatever the fuck. We love you. I forgot what they say. I've seen them many times, but I forget. But like that right there, kind of takes it to the slapstick to a new level. Yeah. No, I agree. Like if I were to remake that movie, I would go hard horror.
Play the horror fucking straight.
Yeah,
now,
it wouldn't
of course,
be too hard.
The movie anyway kind of almost gets about 4 stars from me, just because of two things. Salma Hayek.
Oh, well, she's a vampire in real life. She's a vampire in real life. Have you seen her? Like, she looks exactly the same almost.
She's definitely, she's bathing in the blood of virgins or some shit like that because she's still.
Yeah, right? She married to that billionaire, bro.
I know.
But
that'll help. That'll help. But Robert Rodriguez, for that movie, asked her, could you put on a little bit of weight? and
really?
she put on a little bit of weight, and it went to all the right fucking places. Holy fucking shit, man! That Coolo, man. Oh,
I love that
that's
movie,
like,
man.
the Diaz's. They got the fucking standee of her from that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know that chicks get any fucking hotter than fucking Salma Hayek in that specific.
I don't know, man. Like, just seeing that movie, dude, it was just like I was too young when I seen it, and I loved it, and it was just one of the best experiences of my life. Well, dude, I always tell you the story about that,
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's also a cherished memory.
Oh, massive, dude. Like,
yeah.
Member, so please report to the office, please. Please report to the office. I'm like, what did I do wrong? What did I do? I don't fucking go to the office. Hey, what's up, son? We're gonna go get some Shakey's pizza and some Mojo potatoes and some chicken right now. Me and you and your grandpa, and your uncle. I'm gonna go there and like, okay, we're gonna go to the comic book store now. We're gonna go look at some comics. Okay, all right, we're gonna go see From Dusk Till Dawn now. We're gonna go. Oh man.
How old are you?
I was like 5th or 4th grade, or maybe even
older.
older.
Yes.
5th, 4th, 6th grade, something like that.
Right.
And then I went, but I had already, dude, they were already airing the commercials on TV, so I already knew there was vampires in there.
Of course. Yeah.
So they were showing, and I thought it was like, I didn't know if they were vampires or aliens, because at that point, like, it was coming off of Alien, I think it was Alien Nation, and kind of like Salma Hayek kind of looked like the aliens in there a little bit, the way that they had
the Cobra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I was like, oh, and I remember I was chilling with my uncle's brother-in-law, and he was pounding some beers, and the commercial came on. I was chilling with him, and he was like, "What the fuck is this movie?" And we were watching the commercial, and I was
like, I want to see that.
I'm like, I don't know what that was. That looks cool, and it was right around the time of like Army of Darkness, and I felt like I hadn't got that that feel of like something like we're onto some dope shit. You know what I mean? Like nothing had really gave me the same feeling of like. It was, I don't know if this came out before Armory of Darkness or after, but it was the same fucking amps I was feeling. You know what I mean? The same amplifications.
It's the same era. So, but you see, that's one of the things I love about having friends that are different ages, right? Yeah. Because it's like, well, what was that like, right? Like Mike Barron went to see the Wild Bunch when it first came out, when it had its theatrical release. What was that like? It was like you just walked out of a fucking war.
Well, dude, I remember when the trailer for Army of Darkness hit, right?
Yeah.
And I remember laying down. I was watching TV. I was laying on my back. I was laying down right in front of the TV, and I was, I was fucking young as fuck. We were watching either Hercules or Xena, and we used to watch that as much as we could at my house. You know what I mean? My mom and dad both liked the show. They knew it was campy, and they both were down with that. Yeah. And that trailer hit Universal Pictures, and I was like, whoa. And I told him, like, Daddy, I want to go watch that. You know what I mean? Like it was just like, whoa. And then I don't ever remember seeing another like movie commercial after that. And I remember it aired during Hercules and Xena, and my dad, that's Bruce Campbell's son. My dad already kind of knew who Bruce Campbell was. I don't know if he watched Evil Dead but he knew who he was. You know what I mean? And he always liked.
Don't forget that show.
My dad loved Briscoe County Jr. He loved that show, but I never watched it for some reason or whatever. But I got to go out and play and run around the neighborhood, and do other shit. But my dad, he was always like watching TV, and he was a big fucking TV nerd,
Right.
And recording nerd. He was all about recording, like, like that's what he did. He fucking recorded, all the Batman cartoons, all the X-Men and Spider-Man cartoons.
Do you still have those tapes?
I do. And he recorded all the gargoyles too. And he would just fucking love recording. I have them all in my garage, dude. I got them all on VHS, all recorded.
Oh, that's wonderful.
He fucking loved doing that, dude. And it is what it is,
Well, what? That's why I'm glad that I had like parents that would take me to anything, because I remember. I always tell the story about like Star Wars. I was just like this really, really, really little kid, and I just remember seeing this really fast-paced trailer, and all I could make out of it was that it was like a werewolf on a spaceship.
Yeah. No. So like,
I was like, what? You gotta take me to fucking.
No, yeah.
Rated PG. Dude. Now you really gotta fucking take me to see that shit.
Dude, I was at Target like 2 weeks ago, right? And me and the wife and the kids, we're walking through there, and they're having a big Star Wars Lego day at fucking Target, bro. I'm like, what the fuck? And it was, I don't know, it was like 2 weeks ago. And the Target is connected to the mall where we're at. They're just built into each other. Like you can actually enter the mall through Target and walk through Target. Dude, Target's cool. And then you go into the mall. The mall's fucking huge. It's a classic like 80s like Dawn of the Dead mall, one story where we live. Lakewood
How
Mall.
is it populated? A lot of empty stores?
No, dude, there's the ball's popping. They got with the times. They put the right shit in there. Where the food court was, like by Book Off, they put a shooting range in there. Upstairs, they put an arcade, a bowling alley, a karaoke, a sports bar, and an arcade.
Shooting
like
range, you can go in there and bust fucking cats.
Well, they put like a stupid like virtual shooting range downstairs, but upstairs they got a bowling alley, a fucking big ass arcade. Nice. And they got a fucking karaoke, and they got a full like sports bar. So it's kind of hard not to like, and then you got Cinnabon downstairs, Auntie Annie's, the pizza shit. You got Hot Topic right there. You got all the shit. You got For Your Entertainment, which is a bunch of like a record store with anime bullshit. Like the mall is better. Like the mall, like if this mall was there now, when I was like, if it was there in like the 90s and shit, it would be even like, it'd be uber dope. Like it would just be printing money, dude, because it has everything there. And I'm like, fuck, dude. Like this mall's dope, but I never go there, dude. And then they have a Book Off like right there too. Book Off is right there on the other corner and downstairs next to all that shit, with all the comics.
I kind of grew up in the land of the shopping mall. It's very sort of centrally located, right in the New Jersey and New York.
Same here, area. Bro. In high school and everything.
And I remember spending like, so much of my life thinking, like, okay, which mall would I want to be at when the zombies come? Right. And then certain times, like, when the economy is really shitty and there's hardly anything there, I'm like, if the zombies come now, and I get stuck here, I'm going to be fucking madder than a motherfucker.
Yeah, dude, there was a mall like the Dawn of the Dead
how
mall.
I perceive the world, man.
Because like in Southern California, there's a lot of malls, right? And there was a mall in Westminster, which is on the outskirts of like Huntington Beach. It's a Westminster Mall. And downstairs, bro, I remember seeing Dick Tracy there in the 90s too, but I remember going back there with my wife, like later, like in the aughts, like something. And it's literally right across the street from Knott's Berry Farm, world famous Knott's Berry Farm.
Yes.
It's right across the street from there, and just walking through there, it still has like a 70s, 60s vibe. And you're walking through there, and it's just empty, and you're just like dun 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 dun, and it's just full on fucking, And I'm like, dude, what the fuck happened to the mall? Like it's empty, and like it was like, probably like 10 years ago, where just the malls just started dying, and they've kind of died, but like in those spaces, they found ways to survive. And in this one, they built a like Incredible John's Pizza and whatnot, but. Yeah, it's crazy, man. But Brian, I don't know, man. Are you ready for a little metal break right now, or are you good?
I think so. I think I can. Okay. I think I can handle it.
So I got like a deep cut. This is one of my favorite metal songs of all time. I figured I would show it tonight. And in this video, it's got my favorite band, In Flames, and they're actually playing a show. And then one of my other favorite bands, Soilwork, they're in the crowd and they're fucking heckling them.
Oh, nice.
They're throwing beer cans at them and fucking tagging on the walls and shit.
Nice.
And they filmed this video, right? And the song's called Trigger. And I remember when the song came out, I was just like, damn, this shit, what the fuck did the singer do? Like his vocals sound dope. Like he's like kind of whiny, bitchy, but he just sounds cool. And he sounds a little different. He doesn't sound like the last album. And Soilwork, they filmed the single for their stuff for that album too. They both put out albums at the same time, and the album was called Figure Number 5 for Soilwork. For In Flames, it was called Reroute to Remain. Both these albums I highly recommend. Go download them; they're fucking awesome. And the song for Soilwork was Rejection Roll. I'll probably show that next week. That's a good idea. I'm gonna show that next week. And in that video, In Flames is in the audience, and In Flames is heckling them. And the same director directed both videos, and he did it all in one day. And I thought that was kind of brilliant. And they did that because at the time there was a lot of fans on their message boards back in the message boards days. They were, and I was one of them. I was one of the fans that was fucking talking shit to people that were talking shit on the bands. You know what I mean? Like, fuck you guys. These guys are trying new shit. Fuck off. Leave them alone. They're artists. That type of shit,
Right.
Whatever, and that's what they did. It was like an in response. I think it was an in response to the fans that are just kind of heckling them. But I love the song. It actually appeared on the movie with the best music soundtrack of all time, which is Freddy vs. Jason. And this song actually the album version's better. It's a little longer. It has a longer kind guitar solo section and a little more like longer like interlude section, which I like more. But the video they filmed this single section, so this is Triggered by In Flames. So here we go. You guys ready?
Hell yeah.
One second.
No worries. I'm just looking to see if I can find you a link to that Max Brooks book.
And let me just share this real quick.
Because the squatches in that get savage.
Probably get a copyright strike. Here we go.
Oh, this video. Yeah. Oh, shit.
This is all Gothenburg, Sweden. They filmed it.
Gothenburg, yeah. So they're on foot. These motherfuckers are driving by and just like...
This is right when they started blowing up and everybody was hating on them. Because they were getting fucking big, you know?
So this is inspired by real life.
They're like, fuck you, sound like corn with your dreadlocks. Get the fuck out of here, motherfucker. I'm like, nah, you're fucking dope.
Very good. Glad that you encouraged me to explore their discography. Dude combing his beard. And there's tension in the room that you don't know.
It's a catchy ass chorus, dog. I'm sorry. Homeboy just, in my opinion, that's one of the catchiest choruses, dude.
Yeah.
Something about it.
Yep.
It's Strid right there from Soilwork.
See, I had no idea.
The bald dude? That's all Soilwork out there.
Yeah, because I've seen this video many times. It's like they're plotting. They're like, oh, I'm not really into this. CB's t-shirt. Rest in peace, CB's. And maybe the most disgusting bathroom ever. So glad I never had to do a number 2 there. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. She's about to pop off.
That's Soilwork right there.
It's go time.
We got a black eye.
And now they're getting all chill because he's like, come on, lighten up. Enjoy this fucking show. But there's something to be said for that communal experience, for that tribal experience, right? Everybody's there for the same reason, and it's for, in this case, a love of metal. And that's one of the things I love about the fucking new metal scene as opposed to like the older metal scene. It's not as fucking violent. People aren't fucking fighting and beefing as much over just fucking stupid shit. I'm sure this shit's still gonna happen, but it's not like as much of a scrapper scene. I don't think the way it was like when I was
with the metal. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm kind of thinking about showing the Soilwork song. I want you guys.
I gotta go. I'm really sorry, but it's just like I have to like work in because I'm a pussy. It's like I need at least like 2 hours to prepare before I go to bed. I have to like watch a horror movie and like have some milk and cookies or some shit like that. But dude, thank you so much for having me on. Thank you so much for helping me pimp my book.
Oh, for sure.
And yeah, definitely everybody check out Butch Cleaver. Back that shit stat if you haven't already. It's on the same place where I got my book, which is funbycomic.com.
For
All right,
sure,
brother.
man. Have a
I'll
good
talk
night.
to you soon. I will be watching. Peace.
For sure. So this next song right here is Rejection Rule by Soilwork. And so this is a song I was talking about earlier where they're actually filming, basically like a swap. All right. And this song's fucking awesome too, man. You guys got to check this shit out. This is, Rejection Rule by Soilwork. And in this one, you're going to see In Flames in the audience, and they're fucking heckling them now. So here we go. Let me skip this shit. Prime Days coming. Here we go.
Wrong turn.
Yep. Here we go.
Facing the facts of my generation, in a winner, what is getting fit up? I might as well get another look, cause I'll be there. I know what's been said, I know what's been done. Don't you tell me I'm the only one, cause I'll be there, looking for something, coming straight out of nothing. Just killing time, facing those walls, so black, so loud. I really am, waiting for nothing, coming straight out of nothing. Just killing time, facing those walls, so black, so loud. Sizing back, guys, slow in the time. I rebel, my memories start to trouble. I can't refuse what's haunting my dreams, I must stumble. On my way to a creative perfection, I penetrate the gates of reaction. I'll be there, looking for something, coming straight out of nothing. Just killing time, beating those walls, so black, so loud. I really am, waiting for nothing, coming straight out of something. Just killing time, beating those walls, so black, so loud. There's no determination. It goes all the way you gotta leave. There's extermination. Beside us all, screaming. I really am waiting for nothing, coming straight out of something. Just killing time, facing those walls, so black, so loud. I'll be there, looking for something. I'm coming straight out of looking for nothing. Just killing time, facing those walls, so black, so loud.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that song's fucking awesome. Both those songs. But that was a different time. That was back in the aughts, man. I don't know. I think that was just like a really good time for metal. Back in like early 2000s, dude. I think that was kind of like the pinnacle because it had everything from the 80s and like the 90s just kind of coming together, and dude, just making some sick ass metal. Now it's kind of like a lot of the 90s shit kind of cooked up. I don't know. They're just kind of throwing everything together now with the rap and the new metal. A lot of the bands just kind of sound like Slipknot now. I mean, what I've gathered, and I don't know. I'm gonna have to check them out. But I have actually my campaign that's actually up right now, and it's it's Butch Cleaver. It's on Fund My Comic right now, and it's about a butcher who gets killed. If you probably know about it. If not, then even better. And it's about a butcher who gets killed and he's brought back to life by a voodoo curse, and he has the power to weaponize bone on a molecular level, and he tries to use that power for revenge, reckoning, and possibly redemption. And if you guys order it, I mail it within a day or two. I live right around the corner from the post office. This is the book right here, and that's Butch Cleaver, man. So if you guys are into like horror, westerns, gothic, fantasy, this is the type of book that might be for you. And man, he's this brutal like butcher that gets killed, and you're gonna see his origin right here. He's actually raised in a slaughterhouse, and his parents get taken out, and he's raised by his uncle, and his uncle shows him the ways of slaughter, and they work for this meat tycoon named Whitey Ratatouille. Whitey Ratatouille was the major like competitor to his father. His father was Cleaver. That was the company, the Cleaver Cuts, and James Cleaver, the father, and this is his uncle Jake, and him and his father they got along okay, Jake and James, but one was Irish, one was British, and they both I don't know, once Butch's mother died, which was kind of the bond that held them together, Jake and James, they kind of separated. And after that, James was murdered, and Jake swooped in and stepped up and to be the father figure of Butch, and raised him and took him over to Whitey Ratatouille's slaughter. And Butch just took to it like like a natural. Like right here, you got Butch at a very young age just taking apart that side of beef, and his uncle was telling him, it's already dead. You don't have to, don't have too much fun, don't butcher it, Butch. And Butch is just and then right here you see Butch later on. He grows up and he becomes an enforcer for Whitey Ratatouille. His uncle was also an enforcer, and his uncle shows him the ways of that. And so you're going to see some of that in the story. And this is in the second book, and you could see a lot more in the first book. Let me jump more to that too as well. And I do have this planned as a three graphic novel structure. I have the third book typed up and ready to go. I'm just not ready to do it yet. But if you guys pick up Butch Cleaver 1 and 2, you're gonna get like a pretty solid little taste and satisfying bite, into the world. And this is the first page of Butch Cleaver right here. And I'm really proud of this book. I did it all by myself, and trying to do better with every book that I put out, trying to up my writing, art history, storytelling, and entertaining value for each book. And man, here's the voodoo doll. He basically has a voodoo doll of everybody he does business in town with, and that being the White Rat, which is Butch Cleaver's boss, Whitey Ratatouille. He made a voodoo doll of him, and he also made one of Butch Cleaver too on the side, kind of low key. And he puts a curse on both of them, man. And that's what happens. Butch wakes up in this cocoon in this crazy bone void, and he has to fight and learn the ways of the dead bones. And there's no one better to teach him that than Moth Mammon. And Moth Mammon is this entity from eons past that teaches him the way of the dead bones, and throughout the story, there's going to be a bounty hunter trying to hunt him down, and at the same time, Butch is going to try to figure out who killed him and who is responsible for it. So that's the main main through line going through this. If you guys back this campaign, you're going to get a bunch of cards, stickers, and also you're going to get a wanted poster. And yeah, that's pretty much it for now. I don't want to shill too much, so I'll stop sharing this. I am going to shill a little bit because it's this is my show, so I got to show you guys what I'm working on. And I am a cartoonist, comic book creator. I do want you guys to check out this right here. This is another book coming out. It's called The Hell Knight. So if you guys sign up for this book, you're actually going to get a painted trading card by Preston Acevedo. This is Preston Acevedo's baby, and it's written by Brian Kreisgau. And you guys don't want to fucking slip on this, dude. This is going to be an awesome book. And let me show you guys right now. It's in the pre-campaign sign up era right now. It's the Hell Knight. The Hell Knight, a demon biker who hunts his fellow devils and demons of the underworld. And look at this guy. So if you guys were into Ghost Rider and the demon Etrigan, you're really going to get into this book. Maybe with a tiny bit of Hellblazer thrown into Constantine. Not too much, but it's more inspired by the books of those the Etrigan demon and Ghost Rider, those types of books. It's going to be black and white from my understanding, and it's just going to be next level art, dude. You guys don't want to pass up on this. And again, you're going to if you back this book and sign up for it, you're going to get a painted card by Preston Acevedo. And Preston, he's a real fucking Renaissance artist. He does everything. He knows how to do it all. And he's a real inspiration for anyone that's coming up in the scene around us. He does it all, man. He does pencils, inks, airbrush, painting, and he just does it with a cool style. I highly recommend signing up for this book, and you guys will not be disappointed. So let me throw the link in the chat for everyone watching right now. I know a lot of you guys watch this book on the watch this the show on the rerun or whatnot, because most of my views are for people that watch it later. So not a lot, but enough. So I know there's at least fucking 30 people that are going to watch this later. So that's the link in the chat right there. You guys should be able to check it out. If not, check it out. Indiegogo, The Hell Knight. Sign up for this book now. I promise you will not be disappointed, and you're going to get a fucking cool piece of OG art. So those are two books I wanted to show you guys. And yeah, man, I'm going to get into the fucking Hellboy trailer. So a lot of people have been crying on social media about this fucking Hellboy trailer, about this and that. And they use the same fucking thumbnail for the fucking trailer that they're trying to fucking splooge all over. And it's just like, dude, do you guys even read Hellboy? Have you guys fucking read Hellboy in the past? Do you know what the fuck Hellboy is? Most of the people are up on that fucking Guillermo del Toro shit, which I love. I love Guillermo, I wouldn't know about Hellboy if it wasn't for Guillermo del Toro. And I learned about Hellboy from watching Blade 2. And as soon as I saw Blade 2, I said, what is this? This is some next level shit, Blade 1 was next level, and then boom, Blade 2 was just like, what the fuck is this, right? So I checked it out, and I don't know what happened at what time. This was a long time ago, ladies and gentlemen. And I went on the message board. So Hellboy had a message board. I found out about Hellboy through a message board, and I learned about Hellboy through that. Other than that, I only knew about Hellboy from this like Bowen statue that was at the comic book store, and it was him just socking the ground, and I was just like, dude, who the fuck is that? Like, even at a young age, I was like, oh well, just like some demon dude, he looks kind of cool. And then eventually I learned about Hellboy through watching the Blade 2 movie, and I still regard Blade 1 and 2 as the best Marvel movies still. And I saw Norman Reedus' shirt in that movie in Blade 2. He had a BPRD. I'm like, what the fuck is that? That's got to be something, And then eventually, yeah, Hellboy came out. The message boards came out, and I was on there. I found out about Guillermo del Toro. I found out about The Devil's Backbone. I found out about also Kronos. I ran out and bought the fucking movies like that. I bought the DVDs, and I was just an instant Guillermo del Toro fan. And he started speaking of Hellboy. He said it was this multi-genre crossing thing that has never been done before, and which it was. And you know, you combine he put romance in there. There wasn't there's I don't know. It's arguable about the romance within the Hellboy mythos, but in the movie, he put, you know, romance, horror, action, sci-fi. He just put everything into Hellboy, and a little bit of Indiana Jones, Men in Black, you know. And once on the message board, he would put stuff in there about the comics, the movie, the actor. It was so cool, and people could go in there and talk, and we would talk about metal, and I put a comment in there about this song by In Flames. We showed one of their videos. I put a song in there about called Another Day in Quicksand off the Clayman album, and I put it in there, and my name was Hourglass 711 on the message board. And even Guillermo, he responded to it, you know, and he's like, oh, okay, that song, I could see that could kind of relate to, you know, Hellboy a little bit, or something like that. I don't remember what the response was. It was so long ago. This was fucking like 15, 20 years ago. I don't fucking remember. But he definitely responded to me, and he said something, and thought that was cool. He was down. He got in there and did that. And, you know, Guillermo will always be one of my favorite directors. He's kind of, for me, I kind of look at him as like the Mexican Tim Burton in some ways, but more scary and, I don't know, and better in some regards. But yeah, man, I loved his Hellboy movies. I loved Hellboy 1 and 2. I love his movies. I love him as an artist. And the more I read Hellboy, though, it's a lot different than the comic books. The movies he made, they're more Guillermo movies. And what he did with Hellboy 2 is that he went full fucking Guillermo del Toro, right? He put all the Guillermo in there. And in to me, I kind of compare that to what Tim Burton did with Batman Returns. He went full fucking Tim Burton, and it was fine. There was nothing. I like Batman Returns just as much as the first Batman, and in some regards, I like Hellboy and the Golden Army just equally as well. I think the Golden Army was a little different than the first Hellboy movie, but at the same time, it was a little like Wizard of Oz, and there was a lot of fairy tale aesthetic to it, and more, and leaning more to that in as far as Guillermo's influence. You know, there's a lot more Guillermo del Toro, but then it was even more than that. Like Guillermo just added more and more and more and more. It was a fucking smorgasbord of characters and just laughs, and it was a good time. It was a good fucking time at the movies, right? And I loved it, and I still do love it, but it isn't true to the terror and dread of Hellboy, the comic books. After that, the remake came out with David Harbour, and he played the titular character, and Marshall directed it from The Descent. Fucking Doomsday. Love that director. He's dope too. I think he's an awesome director. I think there was a lot of meddling in the script with that movie, just as akin to the Conan the Barbarian remake with Jason Momoa. You had fucking 14 producers getting in there, putting their fucking dicks in there, fucking that movie, and it really suffered from it. That movie suffered from it. They both just suffered from it. And I think, you know, with that being said, the cool takeaways from Hellboy remake with, you know, David Harbour was that movie was metal as fuck. It had just a lot of hardcore fucking metal, like brutality, like metal album shit, like at the end of the movie with all the shit coming in. Very Clive Barker Ian at the end. And I thought that was cool. I like and also on top of that, they put a lot of Mignola lore drops. And that's kind of what they did too with the Jason Momoa Conan the Barbarian remake. They had a lot of Howardian locales drops, you know, like cities and whatnot. And yeah, again, I thought they did that too with Hellboy, the remake. But I think the major fuck up with the Hellboy remake was that they put in the last story of the you know, the Hellboy, you know, lineage of stories, and that is, you know, where you have the Blood Witch come up, or I forgot what her name, the Crimson Witch or whatnot, and you get to see Hellboy's origin. He's the fucking descendant of King Arthur, and like that's not something that you put into a first reboot of a fucking movie. You put that in the end. That should be the last movie. You don't put that in there, you know. And it was just like, dude, why are you doing the last movie as a reboot? You guys are fucking. I was so mad, dude. I was really butthurt about that, and I still am. I'm still butthurt about that. I'm sorry, you know. And I think David Harbour was an excellent Hellboy, And I do like Hellboy with his hair down like a metalhead, dude. He looks fucking cool like that. I thought that was a dope design. I thought the design of David Harbour was cool. And but again, and I like the Hellboy in Hell stuff, and I like a lot of the Mignola lore that they put in there. But again, there was a little bit of like aught cheese, 90s cheese, and 80s cheese thrown into that movie. You know, I do like the Thomas Hayden Church Lobster Johnson scene at the end. But again, oh, what up, Bascom? How you doing, brother? Yeah, I know, dude. There's a lot of fucking opping going around, you know. Right now we're talking a little bit about Hellboy, the Hellboy movies. But thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it, man. Love you, brother. And that movie, man, Hellboy, you know, the remake, it had a lot of really cool shit. You know, Hellboy in Hell. Harbour looked great in the role. He delivered the lines cool. There was a lot of weird shit in there too. Just like there has to be some comedy, but it has to be, I think, kind of from Hellboy with his one-liners. So I think Hellboy needs to be like, there needs to be a lot of dread, a lot of horror, just terrifying shit. The only horror I think from Hellboy needs to come from his one-liners. Oh crap! Just shit like that. It kind of breaks it, and then boom, you snap right back into the horror of the story. And we never got that from the last three movies. You know, we kind of got it a little bit in the first one, but we never got in the second one. I do like the giant scene in there, like where he's fighting the giants. It's cool. Hellboy's a badass. He's a badass. Oh, and Guillermo made him a fucking badass in the Golden Army. Like the way he fought fucking Prince Nuada. That was so cool. Prince Nuada was a badass. He was like Elric, and he was Elric, dude. Let's just not fucking beat around the bush. He was Elric. And that was, or Drizzt. He was like Elric and Drizzt put together. So that was cool. And then what I did like about the first Hellboy movie, which I thought was better than the comic, they amped it up a little bit in some scales when you get that budget, you know. And it's kind of a hard line, but I thought the first Hellboy movie was kind of perfect in some ways, but not perfect, and like it wasn't scary, you know. So it was kind of a 50-50 thing. But I liked how they changed the mansion to Rasputin's mausoleum. I like how they changed the design of the frogs into Samael. I thought it was a way cooler design. He was like part lion, part wolf or something like that. He looked really cool. So Hellboy 2 was or Hellboy 1 was on the right track, and then 2 and then the remake just kind of fucked it up. So I know I talked for a while, but I wanted you guys to hear how I felt about this. And from my understanding, I think I own every Hellboy book in every story except for Hellboy in Hell. And I haven't read any of the Hellboys in Hell, and I'm going to pick them up eventually, but I just kind of wanted to wait a little more, you know. And I want to see the new one. Looks kind of interesting to me. Awesome, man. Hell yeah. And yeah, dude, I own the art of Mike Mignola. I've met Mike Mignola like 2 or 3 times. I've shown him Butch Cleaver. He's told me I need to work on anatomy, which I understand, and giving me some other pointers too. And it's fucking awesome. It's so cool. You know, even Butch Cleaver has some fucked up anatomy, but you know, I do need to work on my anatomy, and I've gotten a little better at it. But it's cool, man. And told him I'm a big fan. Nice guy. Met him a couple times. Picked up art books. I do have the art of Hellboy. I've picked up the art of Hellboy, the movie adaptation. That's fucking cool by Guillermo. And I haven't picked up Hellboy in Hell. I want to wait a little longer, dude. You know, and that's just kind of changed. So I have all the other Hellboy books, and that's a cool thing. Talking a lot about Hellboy tonight, guys. It is what it is. Go pick up Hellboy. And the cool thing about it is all the books, it's a beginning, a middle, and an end. You have them all right there, excluding Hellboy in Hell. You don't even fucking need to fuck with that. You have a big, juicy, like, universe. And seems like everything they put out is fucking decent, dude. That has to do with Hellboy through Dark Horse. I know that Dark Horse's Hellboy, that's their Batman, and that's fine. Hellboy's fucking cool, dude. So with that being said, I'm gonna get into the trailer. Oh, let's see here. What we got? What we got? Jason or Sim says, I have them all. I got Art of Hellboy signed and dedicated. Yeah, I know, man. And I seen Guillermo del Toro at Comic-Con, and my wife was like, "Hey, let's go meet him. You know, he's right there. Go." I'm like, "No, we'll see him on the way out." You know, and I didn't know you got to go meet these motherfuckers right there, and that's one of my big regrets. But I did get to stop by and talk to Neil Adams, and that was cool. You know, it was just cool, kind of connecting to people. You know, even if you go to them, "Hey, how you doing?" and they're just like, "Hey, fuck off." But it's cool, just even knowing, you know, and sometimes you got to be that fucking lame ass fanboy that's like, hey, dude, you know, I like your work. You did a lot, you know, for me. You inspired me, and you made me a better artist. And I look at your work, and they look at you, and they're just like, huh, you know. But it's like, it's kind of like you have to get that off that chest, you know. It feels good to tell them that, and like, I fucking told you that. I told you that, and it feels great. And you need to know that, motherfucker. And yeah, like I want to meet Bisley. I like to talk to Mignola again. I make Eric Powell like 2 or 3 times. I talked to him a few times, you know. Yeah, even got BPRD is dope. Yeah, I like it too. I'll read anything by Mignola or anything in the Hellboy verse. I'll fucking read the shit out of it. And I don't have BPRD. I remember meeting Rob Van Dam, and I actually he's like, hey, what's up, man? Yeah, I got fucking, you know, BPRD. It was right when Hellboy was coming out. And I worked at Home Depot at the time. I was a lot attendant, and he had a brand new comic book store in the across the street from the Home Depot that I worked at in the mall in Lakewood, California. It was called RVD's 5-Star Splash Comics, and he was talking about BPRD, and I was telling him, dude, you got to go read Hellboy, bro, because I just got off fucking Blade and Blade 2, and the message boards were up. Met Mike Sim says I met Mignola in person. He's great. Yeah, he's awesome. He's a great guy. I met him 2 or 3 times. Picked up his art book. Picked up stuff. And if I ever go to Comic-Con again, I could go again. I could go to Comic-Con whenever I want. My buddy got the hookup, and we can use could use the Butch Cleaver shit, and we can get in there. But I don't. I don't know. I mean, I guess we could. If I go, I'm gonna go right to fucking Mignola and probably Powell. You know, but it's just like them and those are like just kind of the guys that they've always kind of. I just really like their work, man. They kind of, I feel like we're on the same level. That and Bisley, you know, I gotta talk to him, and Kyle Hotz. That's another guy. But with that being said, you know, I would have liked to have met Bernie Wrightson. That would have been really cool. I didn't get the chance to meet him. You know, there's just some people I want to say hi to, you know, as a fanboy, and just be like, dude, you're dope, man. Thank you. You know, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be able to do certain things that I do with my art, or at least strive to, you know. But with that being said, we got the new Hellboy trailer. And I've been talking about this movie. I've been wanting it to come out. When are we going to get anything? We're going to get a picture. What's up? What the fuck's up with this Hellboy movie, dude? They've been working on it forever, you know. And I know Mike Mignola is writing the script, and Golden is writing the script too. And Golden's written with Mike Mignola. Golden has written a bunch of Hellboy novels, and he wrote Bones of Giants, and I have Bones of Giants, and that book was fucking dope. There's a Hellboy novelization, and Hellboy picks up Mjolnir with the right hand of doom, and he has it in his fucking hand. It's locked shut through the whole fucking book, and it's a great book. And I guess they've adapted it in comics. I don't know who drew it or whatnot, because I can't get them all, you know. So again, Hellboy is the Batman of Dark Horse, you know, and I would go and pick him up, but I can't. So from my understanding, yeah, yeah. The novel is great, dude. I haven't read the comics, but I read the novel, and I loved it, dude. And I thought it was great. I'd love to see it as a movie. I always thought Hellboy would do great as a TV show too, you know. And judging by the trailer, I think you know what I'm talking about. I don't know, man. And I've just been waiting, you know, when I knew Jack Kesey was going to be Hellboy, and I know he's in with the group. Kesey was in Guillermo del Toro's The Strain. The guy that's playing Hellboy now, he was in Guillermo del Toro's The Strain. So he knows Guillermo. And he played the Marilyn Manson-esque gothic like singer in The Strain. You know, once he got bit by a vampire, and he pissed his dong off in the toilet, you know. And yeah, I thought it was funny. But yeah, he read the novel too, man. That's awesome. You know, and I saw that he was casted as Hellboy, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. He doesn't like kind of look like, he's not that big brutish version of Hellboy, but that's okay. You know, Harbour was, Ron Perlman was too. But the way that Mignola draws Hellboy now, he draws him kind of clumpy, old, and raggedy with low sagging shoulders and whatnot, and very human in that regard. And I was like, okay, I can see Kessie as that. And Kessie, he's kind of a big dude. He's fucking big and swole. Like if he wants to pump some shit, he can be fucking big, you know. But you put him in a Hellboy and Hellboy attire and makeup, you might be able to do the trick. And I'm gonna have to pull up some shit right now from my twatter, because I don't have the like the pictures handy. But let me try to pull these up real quick, and I want to show you guys some a little bit of like side by side comparison. And I don't know, I could tell you, I can ask what you guys think, you know, and we can figure it out from there, you know. So I have this one right here. Let me share it with y'all. So I got this one right here. You guys see the screen? So I comprise these two together. You got the new gun by Hellboy. I like the way it's comprised, but then you also see the face. I think they did a really good job, like with the shot right here. I know it's kind of dark, but you can really see the mouth and the head and the horns. He looks pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, they kind of knocked that out right there. Let's see. I'm not sold on the trailer, to be honest. The only reason I'm curious to know more and might even check it out is because Mignola attached to it. Yeah, I think that's a lot of the reason too. I think they kind of nailed this right here, though. Like if you guys pause the, you know, you can actually see that, and this gun looks cool. I like the way it's attached right here with the little holes right here in the side. I think it looks really cool. I also got another one on the twatter too. Let me see if I can find it. For some reason, it's not populating. Let me see here. Yeah, okay, I got it right here. Fuck yeah. All right, so let me jump back on here real quick, and let me share this with y'all. Let's see here. So this one, I like to talk about a bit. Okay. So in the comic books, when you read Hellboy, a lot of the times his red isn't as vibrantly red and bright red as it is. There's a lot of like filters over it, you know. I think Dave Stewart does the coloring, and a lot of the red is muted. Okay. And so like you see that right here and in the movie, right? And I think this right here really, it kind of really nails the look of the way Hellboy is drawn currently. And he looks like that. You can also see the collarbone right here. You see that? It really looks reminiscent in the new makeup right here. It really, that's not the dude's collar fucking bone. That's makeup. That's not his collarbone. That's the makeup. Okay. And so they really nailed that. And you can see this fucking nose, the way that it just kind of hunches over like that. It looks very similar to this drawing right here, this modern fucking Hellboy from Mignola. So I think they kind of nailed it down. As soon as I saw this, I was like, okay. I was bitching about the eyes. I thought the eyes could have been yellow, but to a certain degree in the last three movies, his eyes weren't glowing yellow like they are in said picture right here. They're never fucking glowing in said picture. So with that being said, I'm willing to take his regular eyes in this one, or the black eyes, and see, you know, and see how it goes. So I don't know. I think that's pretty cool. So talked about that a little bit. Definitely going to show the trailer right now, and we can look at it one more time. I'm sure you guys have seen it a fucking couple of times, but I'm going to show it one more time just because I think it's awesome. So let's get in there and check out the new Crooked Man trailer.
Something in these hills. Something haunted. Evil. It smells like death.
How do you know that?
Dark things called dark things.
So I don't know. As soon as he said dark things called to dark things, I like his voice already better than David Harbour's. Ron Perlman's voice was cool, but I already like this guy's voice more. I don't know why. I just think it's cool. I like the way he says certain pronunciations. He's got this kind of Midwestern kind of sound to him. Let's see right here. They never get the eyes right in the comics. Laugh out loud. No, I don't. I do. I know. I don't know. And in the movies too, they want that. They want that emotiveness to it, and they want to be able to see that. Someone online had actually pulled up actual stills from this movie and pulled the stills from the Crooked Man comic that Richard Corbin drew, because Mike Mignola didn't draw this comic book that this is based on. Richard Corbin did, and they're fucking panel for panel almost fucking perfect, just like Sin City, right? And I fucking applaud the director Brian Tyler for doing that, dude. Not that many people take fucking panels out of comics and they put them in the fucking movies. And this guy did it. He did like at least 3 panels out of the book he put in the fucking movie. And I fucking respect the shit out of him for that. The Crooked Man is a low budget indie horror movie comic book, right? So for you to make the movie, it's not going to cost a lot, dude. You just got to kind of fucking, make the movie scary. And this movie does kind of have like the Evil Dead feels. I hate pausing it right here too, because every fucking reaction review to this movie uses this stupid fucking still right here. You know what I mean? Every single, if you guys go on YouTube right now, every fucking reaction to this movie is a stupid fucking still. It's so cringe. Like, pick another still for fuck's sake. Dude, it was a joke from the movie. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So here we go. Again, I'm already digging this guy's voice more than Harbour's voice. I think he sounds cooler. But yeah, here we go. Here we go. And again, Mike Mignola is writing the screenplay for this, and so is Golden. So it's going to be Golden.
Tales about him all my life. Most just called him the Crooked Man.
So that's a scene right out of the book. This is a panel right out of the book that they put on the screen. The also previous scene where they had the 2 kids on the ground fucking looking at that like set of bones and whatnot. That's also from the book, guys. I like this little shot right here too of the bird on fire. It's fucking looks pretty cool.
We've got company.
Hellboy's got a fucking little pick in his mouth. That was a scene too. Yeah. That scene too where we're lighting up the shovel with the crucifix. That's a panel right out of the comic.
Friends, they all gonna die.
So I don't know, guys. I'm really excited for this movie. It's got that indie horror vibe to it. I think I don't know. It wasn't what I expected as a trailer. Obviously, I'm like everybody else when I first saw it. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Then after, like, towards the end of the trailer, I'm like, oh, okay. It's fucking indie horror fucking Hellboy. And that story is like that too as well. And I think it's a good story to do as a movie. Personally, I would do the Wolves of St. August next. I would invest all my money into like a good location castle and a badass werewolf design. I think that's what they need to go with the next movie. And the third movie, I would do Wake the Devil. Wake the Devil is one of my favorite Hellboy stories. It's the second Hellboy story right after Seed of Destruction. And it's a good epic way to close out the franchise with the big Nazi gorilla, and also the floating Nazi head flying around, and the big worm, and the Count, the cool vampire. I think they could really do something with these 3 books, and I think with Hellboy, man, they have to just stick to one story at a time. The Crooked Man, Wolves of St. August, Wake the Devil, just pick one story at a time and just fucking stick to it, and they'll be good, dude. And just make it real simple. You get in, you get out, fucking make it pulpy as fuck, and ain't nothing to worry about. And keep that fucking budget low. These movies, they have these high inflated budgets. These movies, they need to have low budgets. They need to get in there. They need to think. They need to go back and reference old movies. They need to go in there and hunt down these artisans that did special effects if they don't know how to do it. Pardon me for not remembering the director's name, but the guy that did Psycho Gorman, he's doing the new the remake of Deathstalker. That dude does all fucking practical effects and puppetry and whatnot. We need to get back to that. We need to get back to the fucking smoke and mirrors. We need to get back to the turn of the century effects. I'm not talking the 80s, but I mean like when we were doing shit like in, you know, the turn of the century. And a good movie to reference that would be Bram Stoker's Dracula. They did that a lot, man. We really need to just get back to those times, and we need to step away from the CGI so much and the artificial intelligence. And I don't know, man. I think if we do that, we would be in good hands, you know. And I've noticed a lot of people that hate on the new trailer for Hellboy. They've never read the books. They're just Guillermo del Toro fans, and they're just kind of like pop culture fans, you know. And I think Hellboy, like, I don't know, man. It's still like it needs to be scary. When I read the books, I felt dread, I felt terror, I felt haunted, dude. When I read the OG shit, you know, and I was just like, I was all about it, man. I remember seeing that chain coffin cover. Let me pull that up, guys. That was actually the chain coffin, Hellboy, the chain coffin. I fucking love that image. I know it got very popularized, but there's just something about it, and there's just something about Mignola's art that's just so iconoclast. You know what I mean? And I remember when seeing that, I was just like, dude, I want to get a tattoo of that. I wanted to get a tattoo of that on my shoulder. You know, this one right here. Let me show you guys, really, really quick. And let's see here. Let's see if I can pull it up. Got so many tabs open right now. Here we go. All right. This one right here, guys. The chain coffin. You could kind of see it right there. This one right here. It's just a dope piece by Mignola. And I don't know, man. I always think of that. You know, and Mignola, you can see there's another one right there. He's wearing his Frazetta pyramid, you know, geometric shape layout on his sleeve. A lot of dudes do that, myself and too. But I can't wait for this Hellboy movie to come out, and also Nosferatu. I think, dude, we're in for a solid year, and then you got fucking Wolverine and Deadpool. That's gonna be fun, man. I know it's all parody, but it's still gonna be a fun movie. So. But yeah, man, thanks everybody for watching. I really enjoy it. I really enjoyed that, you know, people stop by. Thanks Sim for stopping by. Thanks Jason Bascom for stopping by. You guys go check out Absolute the best way that you can. Check out Nat the Merc and anything Sim puts out or Jason Bascom put out. These guys are top tier creators, artists, and writers in this sphere that we're in, this comic book YouTube scene. And yeah, that's where we're at now, man. If you're an indie comic creator, you got to get on fucking YouTube. You got to talk, you know, you got to do your thing, you know, you got to get out there. Your art is not going to fucking sell itself for you, no matter how good of an artist you are. Unfortunately, you have to get out here. You got to put yourself out there, and you're going to have to talk and hang out and, you know, be yourself. You know, you got to put your work out there, and that's just the demand for it now. Sim and Jason, please drop your links in the chat, please. I want people to pick up your books. Fuck yeah, dude. No, thank you, man. You guys are awesome. And yeah, thanks for stopping by. I'm probably going to go watch a movie right now with the wife. I'm going to look for something scary online. Maybe go pick up a midnight snack somewhere, maybe a burger or something or whatnot. And it's a fun night. If you can, go check out SIXGUN Gorilla. I got that pinned at the top of the chat. Brian's been getting a little bit of heat now for some stupid shit that people are swarming him for. It's pretty fucking funny, pretty weak. And yeah, so if you can, go pick up the book if you haven't. You're gonna love it. It's fucking dope. SIXGUN Gorilla, and it's the last book in his SIXGUN Gorilla arc. And Homeboy's got a bunch of books coming out too, so he's not really the gorilla guy anymore. So he's more than that. And thanks for watching as always, folks. Always remember to be bold, be brave, roll the bones to know your role, and fucking stay metal. 100%. All the time. Every day. All day. Fucking stay metal.